welcome to Jodi Day, Flux.
I'm excited.
Yes. I love that intro music, by the way.
It's a good intro.
Right? We
It's a
played with a
really good
few different
intro.
versions, and then just, I think last week, Saturday, for some reason, they copyright claimed that song. And Nick and I both have license for it, and it's never been an issue. And all of a sudden, last Saturday, they didn't do it Tuesday, they didn't do it any of the weeks before, but last Saturday, for some reason, they're like, oh, wait, that's ours. And so now we have to
Interesting.
dispute it. But no, I like that song a lot. So
Oh,
welcome.
hello, Shot. Hello, Shot.
Yes, yes. I see 20th Century Fox and Indigo, and Bobby is here. Bobby's always here.
Man, you did Fond and Dirty. You did Fond and Dirty.
Oh, Fondant is here. Yeah, I had it queued up. In fact, because he said he
Did
wanted the
you
count.
really?
He wanted the count, and I was like, he's got to throw in some money. And so I queued up $20, and I typed it all out, and I was waiting for his super chat, and then I went ding.
Damn.
I saw that
That
coming.
was that was funny.
In case
That
you
was
guys
funny.
don't know what we're talking about, in Flux's Minecraft stream, if you super chat, you get a monument, and you get a block for, I don't even know how much it is per block. Is it $5 per block? Is that
It's
what it is?
it's pretty much $5 a block, but if you give us any super chat will get you one, but then it's like $5 a block.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
mine, of course, is the biggest. And then Fondant came in. He wanted a measuring contest. He got it. He realized he was a few blocks short. And so he decided to super chat 20, but I saw that coming. And I had my $20 super chat queued up. So that was this morning. That was this morning. I like the Flux streams. I like the Minecraft streams on Saturday morning after the baker does his stabber days, and it's a nice way to wake up and spend the morning. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to listen to either of you guys today, but I was able to pop in for a little bit on both of them. Generally, I like it though. It's a good way to wake up.
Yeah.
But we're here. We stop everything. I was mixing concrete. Flux was playing in Minecraft, but we stop everything at noon Eastern on Saturdays to do Jodi. No matter what's going on, we do Jodi. As you can see, Nick is not here. We are dual streaming though, so give him some love over in his channel. We still have the like competition, so if you want to, give me all the likes since Nick's not here, that's cool. But he has a personal matter that he's dealing with, and he's in the chat. Thank you for filling in, Nick says.
You're welcome.
So
It's my pleasure.
Have you been watching this whole trial?
Not the entire trial. I pop in typically Saturdays are difficult for me most of the time. But I typically watch on Tuesdays. But
Okay.
it just so happened that today Mrs. Flux had to go do something, and I'm just like, I'm so tired from like Matsuri and everything. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay home today. I'm not gonna plan anything. And it worked out.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I know we tried to have you on another time, and then that was I don't something. You had something going on with Mrs. Flux, and so you weren't able to
Yeah.
join us. But I'm glad you're able to join us today because Jodi's on the stand for day two. Uh, she took the stand last Saturday.
Ooh.
Started with all of her ex-boyfriends that are still alive, of course,
Oh.
right? So that proves she didn't murder Travis. And we continued on Tuesday with a little more of the Jodi on the stand. And we are picking up day 14 after lunch.
Ooh.
And I've been reading the book. And I'm also doing, like we do, we prepare for these things. We're not just, out here like, let's just learn together. So I've been doing some research. So apparently she's on the stand for 7 days before we even get to the whole like. So you went over to Travis's and what happened next part.
Wow.
So we're gonna finish up her second day on the stand today, and
I
we
feel
have
like
5 more days of her background story before we even get to
wow.
Travis.
I feel like she was the OnlyFans model before OnlyFans.
Uh, Probably, yeah, she was really, she was right. Her
Yeah.
pictures were being shared around.
I feel like
Although
she was kind of the first OnlyFans.
unfortunately, she didn't get to make any money off of it. That's the problem.
Yeah. See, and
But
that was her problem.
she's making money off of her legs now. By the way, anyone who's interested too, this is a Flux original right here. What's it called? Green Hell?
Yes.
Yeah, Green Hell. That's a Flux right there. And I pinned in my chat, I pinned a link to Flux's channel. If you
Oh,
guys don't
thank
know
you.
Flux, she does paintings and whatnot, but she also has some cool hangback streams. There's also a stream with me where we're talking about Star Wars, and we need to finish that up.
Yeah, because the my friend at work, he's always like, he asked me, I think just yesterday, he's like, you watch Rogue One yet? And I'm like, no, I've been so busy. I'm so busy. I
So busy.
haven't been able to
And
watch
so
it
I've
yet.
decided that we're gonna watch it together on Discord at some point because that's gonna make it happen. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
one final housekeeping matter. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on my Discord, we are going to be streaming the Johnny Depp documentary again. We did it on Thursday night, right? Yeah,
Mm.
Thursday night. But we were limited. I didn't realize, I'm kind of new to Discord. I didn't realize the watch party was limited to 25 people. So I paid to like increase it and get more access for everyone, but we were in the middle of the stream, so it didn't work. So if you are a member right now, by the way, it's members only for my channel. You have to be a member to get access to it. But if you are a member right now, we have a watch party opened up. Jung Min is in there right now. We're trying to make sure that we have the capacity for everyone. So while you're watching this, if you could open Discord, go into the watch party. We want to fill it with as many people.
Teach me how to do it right now because I don't know Discord.
Okay. Actually, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I am going to tag you in a chat in the watch party. And so you can go there. So you should get a notification. Go
Okay.
here. All right. So I'm just tagging you right now. So you should get a notification in Discord to go there. Flux,
I'm
because I tagged you
here.
specifically. Now, all right, so are you in the watch party itself? Let's see, do I see you in the watch party? I don't see you in the watch party yet.
Oh, I'm there.
What's
I'm
your avatar look like in Discord?
it's the full, it's like my Twitter, but it's the full, like my full body.
Okay, what you have to do is click the join button. So it says join voice. Do you see that? There
Oh,
should be a green button.
yes.
There you are. No, wait, no, that's twisted. Who just popped in? Bobby's in there.
How do I mute it?
Hit the little, there's a little microphone button that you can mute.
Oh, I think
Oh, I
I'm
see you.
there.
You're in there now. You're in there now. Okay. So now you can see, now there's another window that just says watch stream. If you clicked on that, then you'll actually watch the video that we're all sharing together. And you'll see us because they're streaming us right
How do
now.
I make it stop talking to me?
Hit the red button. Just exit out of everything.
Oh, cool. I'm
All right.
learning Discord, guys.
So that's the
I'm a
watch
boomer.
party. So if you guys can go in there, and if for some reason you can't get in, if it says the thing is full, let Jung Min know because she's working on capacity for us right now. So that way, I didn't expect this, and so there were a lot of people that weren't able to get in and watch it. So we're doing a rewatch today at 8 p.m. Eastern, so that anyone who missed it on Thursday can watch it again with us today, including Flux and other people.
I was there last night. Like you said, this was happening at 8:00. I can't find it. What's going on? And then I like checked back an hour later. I'm like, I don't understand. Where is it? And then when I think it was this morning, I find like you had commented, and I was like, oh, that's probably
Saturday.
Yes.
Originally, I had planned to try to stream it again last night, but I got roped onto crewing on a sailboat race, and so that's what Totally Pip is asking about. How did sailing go? Sailing went well, and in fact, if you are a member, you can go into my Discord and go under my name, and you can see some videos and photos from last night's race. We came in 6th, so that's not bad, I guess. I don't know. I don't really race with them. I don't like racing sailboats too much, but it was fun last night. It was good wind. And
out of how many did you? 6 out of how many?
13, I think.
All
13.
right.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's not
It's a very political thing. One of the reasons why I don't like racing sailboats is because you get a rating system. Think of golf, right? Everyone's got a handicap. Mm-hmm. Well, the size of your boat and the sails and things like that you have give you a rating. Mm-hmm. But it's political because it's not based necessarily off of the the data, right? Like they
Mm-hmm.
don't take into consideration water line, which is the length of the boat that actually sits in the water.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Oh, you have a 45-foot boat, so you get this rating," when only maybe 39 feet actually sits in the water. And so things like
Interesting.
that. Yeah, so it's kind of political, and they'll play with this. Like my dad has a boat it's a racing hull. It's a Charlie
Mm-hmm.
Morgan design. If anyone knows Charlie Morgan, it's a racing hull. It's meant to race around the globe, but it's a cruising deck. It's got big, heavy sails. The thing weighs 10,000 pounds more than it ever should. It's a tank that floats on the water. So
Mm-hmm.
you'd think we'd get a really high rating, or a low rating rather, so when we race. But because we have this racing hull, they expected us to go super fast all the time. And we
Interesting.
we don't. So anyways, that's why I don't like racing. But it was still fun. So if you want to check that out, it's in my Discord as well. Hey,
Yeah,
Lefty.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's one of the reasons why like I don't like gymnastics and stuff like that. It's because yeah, there's a rating system, but when it comes down to it, it's a score based on what that individual person thinks you did.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
And I'm like, how do you measure that? Like, yeah, you can do a flip really cool, but like if you do the same flip in the same exact way, but one person gets like a point higher because their foot was like pointed 1 millimeter to the left, like I don't know. I find it to be arbitrary, and that's why I do like stuff like you know baseball and where there's like definite finite rules, and there's
Yeah,
not like judges.
that's the big thing is I don't like the rating system. And like at the start, right? So you have, it's not like a whatever, a car race, right, where you're all lined
Mm-hmm.
up at the starting line. You all got to be tacking around because you want to be at full speed, and you hit the start line and it's a timer. So you
Yeah,
got a bunch of boats that are tacking around each other and really close to each other, and that's the fun part. That's fine. But then once you get on a line, and then you get another asshole that decides he's got right of way because he's on, he's the, the approaching boat on a starboard tack, and he just pushes you off the line. And you're like, come on, you got plenty of room. You're just being a dick, right?
yeah,
That's the stuff I don't like.
yeah.
So, let's
Interesting,
see. While
interesting.
we're learning things, is there a shortcut to adding someone to chat, or do we have to type it all out? In the chat on Facebook or on YouTube, you could do the at when you're on your computer, not so much when you're in the app on your phone. I noticed that. So you have to type it all out when you're on your phone, but on your computer, it should just start fill in the rest. On Discord, it is the same as well. When you start typing, when you do the at and then you do a first few letters, it should fill in the rest. It'll give you options of people you can select from. But it's only working on computer. It's not working on the app. So, all right. Well, shall we get to Jodi? It's
Oh
enough filler.
yeah.
We got 60 people watching between Nick and myself. That's good. Kill some time and get going. So again, where we left off was just at the lunch break on day 14, and we are coming back. Remember, Jodi's always on the stand when the jury comes in because she's locked. She's got the little
She's
ankle
chained
brace and stuff.
up.
She's chained up. So we're gonna start with her. Oh, we only have 14 people in there. Okay, so the limit we were at was 25. After 25, they started blocking people from getting in. So we want to at least get to 25 and then 26 and 27, just to make sure, because I upped it to 99 and I paid money. I paid, like, increased my subscription with the host Discord so that we could get as many people as possible. So if you wouldn't mind, just jump in there for the next 30 minutes and let's just see if we can get this thing, what our capacity limit is. Because that was disappointing yesterday or the other day when we were able to host everybody.
And
That would be
it's
great.
such a good bad documentary.
So I watched it. I've watched it now several times because I watched it in preparation for the Discord stream, and then I watched it during the Discord stream, and then I started watching episode 1 again last night with my wife, And every time I watch it, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this isn't bad. They're kind of talking about social media and the backlash and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, it's not bad. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, okay, it's still not bad. Maybe it's a little slanted. And then I started watching it the third time. I'm like, oh no, this is slanted. It took me a
From
minute to
the
get there.
second, like, from the second I started it and they open with what they open, I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. And throughout the whole thing, I'm like, wow, this is really putting people in a bad light. This is
We could
not
we could
great.
talk about it more in Discord tonight, but I have
Yes.
I have an approach to this particular documentary, and I hope you guys can give it a little bit more. Uh, I don't know, watch it a little bit more fairly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as bad as some people are saying or as Flux is saying. But I have a reason why. I think they framed it the way they did, and we could talk about that tonight in Discord, which you should all go to right now
Oh,
and
yeah.
join the group.
My phone
Um,
keeps buzzing at me now, and I think it's because I'm in that Discord.
you could turn off notifications,
Okay.
which
I'm
I
trying
do.
to figure it out because I'm like, why does my phone keep making noise at me now?
Well, that's a lot of, and again, one more thing before we get going on Jody, but a lot of people don't like Discord because of all the notifications anytime someone does something. I turned it so that I only get notifications when I'm specifically tagged or when someone tags everyone in my Discord. Then I will get a notification. Otherwise, if people are just chatting, I don't get those notifications. It'll pop up when I go in there, but my phone's not throwing notifications at me. So we
I'll
see.
figure it out. I'm just going to sit on it for now. That'll make it be quiet.
You are open-minded, MLS. I like that about you and your channel. I am open-minded, and I try to look at it from, okay, I'm a creator. I'm going to create a documentary. What about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial can I say that hasn't already been said? Well, hey, how about the social media uh, impact on the trial, or just the social media covering it, right? So that's sort of the angle. Read my DMs on Discord. Okay, Jung, I can't. I'm streaming. Please tell people about the above two while on stream. We have to set up a watch party tag. If you would like to be notified when we are planning and going live with the watch party in Discord, please send a message to Jung, and she will add you to the notification list. Okay, I did it.
Oh, by the way, have you seen my shirt?
Oh, wait, hang on.
Oh, let me get my braids out the way. Have
The
you seen
Dragon's Treasure.
the Dragon's Treasure Tea?
Nice. Did you have fun? I forgot you went to
Oh,
Houston.
oh my goodness. Holy cow. It was such an experience. It was so much fun. I got to meet a lot of people. And I got to meet Nate, which he is so I love Nate, but he is just his energy. I feel like his energy on stream is already like, but his energy in real life, he's just got such good energy.
That's the
Like,
thing. Uh, I tell people like Baker and stuff and Mo when they start, you have to be like 10% more on stream because the video camera sucks that energy out of you, and so he is extremely in that. He's very energetic on stream, and so I can't imagine how he would be in person. It would be
oh
like
man,
that extra 10-15% more.
like as soon as he showed up like to the little area, it was just like the energy just elevated and it was just so like he just brings like just a good juju around. And I was like, yo, I loved Nate before, but just he's such a cool guy. And like it was real fun. It was I had a blast, hanging out with Jeff and Chandler and Ozzy and meeting Nick and Camelot, and it was just I met a lot of really awesome people. It was fun.
Very cool. I'm disappointed you didn't take Chandler to a Walmart, but we'll let that slide for a moment.
See, oh my goodness, there was just so much going on. Like on our way to the airport, I was like, we didn't even have time for a Walmart. Like there was just so much going on and all of us just hanging out. Like it Walmart wasn't worth detracting for that.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Well, let's see what Jodi has to say here today. More about her boyfriends that are still alive, I presume. We left off with Mike, I believe she was talking about. I might be wrong. We'll catch up.
Thank you. Please be seated. Miss Arias, please take the stand.
Oh, see, she has a limp because she has this brace on her leg, which apparently if she tries to run will lock up,
Nice.
but she can walk. But she has a little bit of a limp. So her attorney asked that she be walk up to the stand before the jury's brought in.
Nice.
I just wonder what's going through her head during all of this.
Right? Like, it's fascinating to think, like, bro, you got caught and you're still trying to, like, not. I don't know. I don't know what it would take.
I would be just super nervous the whole time.
Right?
All right, we're still short a few people in the Discord watch party to get us up to that 25 and make sure we can surpass our limit. If anyone's a member and has already accessed the Discord, if you could jump in, that'd be great.
The limit does not exist.
I don't think any jury members have actually talked too. I was wondering that. I don't think they have.
Oh, I told you I was at jury duty on Thursday, right?
Please be seated.
No.
The record will show the presence
I
of
was
the
at
jury,
jury-
the defendant, and counsel.
We do.
So, did you get picked or no?
No, and I'm glad because it was one old lady suing another old lady for a car accident.
Those
And
are
I'm like-
fun cases.
I'm like, oh, I don't like old people and driving. I'm like, no old person should be driving at all.
Baker's going right to the important details. She seems very
Mr.
prickly
Nermi,
today.
you may continue with direct examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jodi, before we took our lunch break, I believe we
Oh,
were
that was
talking
weird.
about the point in time when you and Daryl had purchased your home in Palm Desert. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Daryl, that's who we're talking about. This is the
And
boyfriend
You'd also told us
that she lived with. He was like 20 years old.
Daryl's
Ah,
stance on not being married persisted all the way to the point in time when you were buying this home, right?
Yes, I think there was a time when he may have wanted another child. He implied that, but we never actively tried to get pregnant or anything like that.
Okay. So given that.
I'm going to put it at 1.25.
Mr.
Let me know if
Brewer
it's
was not
too
interested
fast
in
for you
getting
guys.
Married, and you had your separate lives, your separate bank accounts, you got the mortgage together. What was the plan on purchasing this home? Were you going to live in it for years? What was the idea?
Ideally, if everything had worked out and if the housing market had continued to increase, which of course it didn't, I think June was the year it peaked, or the month it peaked, then we would have stayed in it for 2 years and either rented it out or flipped it, sold it and tried to reinvest in another house.
So you didn't have a plan to be permanently together, whether married or not, you and
No,
Daryl?
actually, I had hoped to maybe buy him out on the house, if possible, so that I could own it, and then I had ideas of maybe making it into a business investment property.
Okay. At this point in time, were you still in love with Mr. Brewer?
You mean while we owned the house together?
Mhm.
Yes.
Did you want to marry Daryl Brewer?
I probably would have, oh yeah, I would have married him. I don't know that, he was pretty clear that he didn't want to get married, so I didn't allow myself to entertain that idea, but I could see myself spending my life with him.
So, as it relates to this period, this plan that was hatched, I guess, or actualized in 2005, to buy the house and stay together in it for a couple of years and make money, did that plan work?
No, it didn't work at all.
Why not? What happened?
I think they're trying to make her out.
The day before we signed,
I've been thinking about this for the last few days about why this is relevant, right? Why are they talking about all of this past stuff? And I'm thinking that they're trying to portray her as a normal, like kind of wannabe housewife, that she's incapable of doing these actions. Like, even when her other boyfriends cheated on her, she didn't go out and stabby them. When she had a perfectly good life set up with this guy, but he wanted things that she didn't want to, and so she calmly moved on. I don't know. I think that's what they're trying to do. And so the fact that she had to kill Travis, because she admits to killing him, but in self-defense, I think that's what they're trying to set up. She had no choice but to do it. She's not just some deranged woman that did this on purpose, right? They're trying to say that she drove out there, hid her tracks, got the gun in advance because her plan was to kill him. And I think that's what all of this is for. All this, like, 5 days leading up to when they start talking about Travis, I think that's what they're going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
Kind
trying
of
to
like a
guess.
looking for love in all the wrong places type of situation.
Yes. Oh, and I forgot
Our
to put my
house,
banner.
our
Yes,
mortgage
this
broker
is
called and
direct.
switched up the terms, and she said it really fast, and we were like, okay, whatever, we just really wanted the house. So what we failed to remember or consider was that in 1 year, the mortgage would index with the current rate, and so our mortgage payment jumped from $2,200 a month up to $2,800 a month, and it was a lot more than we were expecting.
And were you still working 2 jobs?
Yes, I was working 2 jobs, yes, in Palm Desert.
Okay. So your half of the mortgage then would have been $1,400, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that didn't include any of the other household expenses?
No other bills, just the mortgage alone was that.
Okay. And were you, between these 2 jobs, were you making the kind of money that you could afford that sort of payment?
I think I might have been able to. I would have been, I think, living very impoverished if I would. It didn't quite cover the mortgage. I came up short every month.
I have a playlist of all of it. Jody's
how did you keep
only
paying
been
the
on the stand now for a day and a
I
half.
was hoping to earn more money or get another job, but what I did in the meantime, assuming that I would be able to pay it back, is I started paying the mortgage with my credit cards.
She should have just
Was
started
the-
OnlyFans.
Right?
Value of
I
the
don't think
home, what
OnlyFans
that
was around.
with that?
The value obviously wasn't increasing anymore. I didn't
did
really
have those sex
look into the
chat
value of the
rooms,
home I
though.
was living in, but I was paying
She could
attention
have
to
been
sale
one of
prices
those
in the
phone
neighborhood,
sex
and they were going
operator
for
ladies.
almost $100,000 less at this point.
Oh,
than what
we're
we
going to hear
closed
phone
on our
sex
home for,
tapes. I don't know if it's
so
today
it
or
was
when it's
pretty
coming up.
apparent that the market was kind of switching back to
Could have made money.
a buyer's market.
Mm-hmm.
And how long were you and Daryl able to maintain the home with this increased mortgage payment?
I can't remember exactly when it mortgaged, but it went south pretty quickly as far as being able to maintain the payments. I think the last the full half payment that I made was in November 2006. And then by December, I couldn't quite get to $1,400, and then by January, I couldn't pay. I think I paid even less, and I think that was the last time I was able to even attempt it. And so by then, we decided we were going to just let the property lapse into foreclosure.
Moving back a few months to the fall of 2006, what was going on with
Her
your
head is
relationship
shaped like a
with
skinny
Mr.
potato.
Were you still happy, or describe that for us?
Well, I
What
still
does
loved
that
him, but I
mean?
think
I don't know, but I kind of
I
find it
love
funny.
it.
that summer, I had a lot of things just kind of reality hit. We weren't really progressing in our relationship. I was no longer 22, I was 26 now, so I began to question, where I was going with my life. Was I going to have a family with this person? And so it really didn't seem that way. And at the time, my goal was marriage and children, at least someday. And that's not something you can just go out and get. It's something you have to kind of invest time in. And so at age 26, I was more than halfway through my 20s, and I wanted to begin focusing more on that. But we had the house together, so I wasn't sure how that was going to work. So I became, I guess, a little more disenchanted with the relationship. He wasn't really focused on it. He had a lot of stress going on with his life and his bills and his son and his ex-wife and that kind of thing. So we were going in different directions. We had different visions for our futures.
You mentioned personally.
Now, has every one
the
of her
things you wanted on a
breakups been
personal level,
amicable? That they
but you had
just
also
wanted
talked
different
about-
things?
Well, the first one cheated on her. She found emails, and then she printed off the emails and drove like an hour to go confront him about it. But other than that, I guess it was kind of amicable. Is it Bobby? I can't remember the name of the other one. They all like cheated on her, and then she left.
She's totally just like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah, I mean,
Or at
she
least
does,
according to her.
not even according to her. According to her, she confronts the guys about the cheating, and then leaves, or like she confronted the the woman that he was cheating with and then left. So she has this childish way of confronting people and then leaving. But they're all left alive. She doesn't like physically attack them. Travis, however, she's being accused of not only like attacking him, but she also stalked him and like watched through the windows while he was with another girl and followed him around, left notes on the car. And so there's a lot of things that she supposedly did to Travis that apparently she didn't do with any of the others. At least they're not saying that she did those things. So
Interesting.
yeah, so I think she's trying to use all this by saying, yeah, I was cheated on and they were somewhat abusive. Oh, she went into her childhood too. Her parents were abusive and things like that. But yeah, there's no stalker like behavior really, except for Travis.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know what it was about him. Because, again, she has a guy that's 50 years older that has kids, is settled, they got a mortgage together, they're living a happy life. If that's what she wanted, that's what she had. But she left this guy for Travis. So, I don't know.
This home purchase being a business venture for you, obviously one that wasn't doing so well, right?
Yes.
Did you have other ideas in mind with
She
what
have
you wanted to do
butterface
with your
Dave-Om?
life from a professional standpoint?
Butterface.
Well, I was looking for other ways to get on my feet financially so that I could, so that I could invest in real estate, which was going to be a main form of my income, so I could do other things that I enjoy, which would also be forms of income, such as photography. And I didn't see myself yet making a career out of art, but it was more a hobby than a career goal. But possibly that.
I feel that, girl. I feel
I
that.
wanted to get my art into galleries. I wanted to. I enjoyed the weddings that I had done at Ventana, but I enjoyed photography more than coordinating them. So I wanted to become a wedding photographer also.
Jessica B., are you the one that says you understand why she did what she did? Because there's somebody in my chat that was been rewatching them and commented, says, I understand why she did what she did. I said, all right, you need to join the live chat. Was it you, Jessica?
So I feel like this is one of those cell block tango moments,
What do you mean?
possibly, in her eyes.
And
You ever seen
Jodi's eyes?
Chicago? Yeah.
No, I've never. Oh wait. Oh. Yes.
He
Uh,
had
the
it
cell-
coming.
Yeah, he had it coming.
Yep.
He had it coming. Yeah.
He only had. Yep. I feel like that's what she's looking at it like.
Yeah, it was Jessica. I thought it was you. Yeah, so you did say that. You understand why she did what she did. I need you to elaborate maybe.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Sure.
Because as a woman, we're crazy.
Okay,
We're
fair
insane.
enough.
There's
I'll start with that premise.
I don't understand. I don't even understand sometimes why I'm crazy, but I just know that I am. And I know that because I know that and I can admit it, that's the first step to recovery.
Okay.
But with women like Jodi, who are like, no, I'm not a crazy bitch. I'm amazing. And it's like, no, you have to identify and understand that you are at least a little crazy because of hormones and women. That's just a thing. And when you try and like suppress the crazy and pretend that the crazy isn't there, it comes out in other ways, in other forms. And let's say a woman who has all these suppressive craziness, it's only going to take that one moment, that one instant where you just finally had enough. It's that one straw that just for some reason triggers you and your whole entire crazy just envelops yourself.
So she has boyfriend number 1 that cheats on her.
Yes.
And she has boyfriend number 2 that cheats on her. Then she moves in with this guy. And they don't really converse. Like she testified that he would come home and he's like, I need 40 minutes. Just leave me alone. I don't think she's realizing the common element, which is her.
Oh, yeah. And it's because it's the women who aren't self-aware enough to understand, I have my crazy moments. I need to take a step back because I'm clearly causing some type of issue.
Yeah, and Travis did hide her, didn't bring her around, wasn't kind of led her on, but had no intention of marrying her. She converted religion for him.
And that's the thing. She's doing all this for him. And it was that final straw where it was like, you know what? You snap. And I loved this dude. Everything that I'm doing was for this. I converted religions. I did this. And he won't bring me around. And as a woman, I can understand hitting that point where you just are fed up and you're like, okay, I've hit but again, I know that I've hit my crazy and I'm like, I'm being crazy right now. I should but if you don't understand that you are crazy and nobody is there to check you're crazy, yeah.
They might not they might not go to the stabby in the shower. They might go into other forms of crazy. And I do family law, so I see a lot of forms of crazy. Mm-hmm. That's not the stabby part. But it's like, oh my God, are you even thinking rationally right now? And so I get that.
And that's the thing. For me, I'm a very rational, analytical person. And so being a woman is also very hard for me because there are a lot of moments where I'm like, I am not rational. This is not a rational thought. But you know what? I still think it. And I'm like, it has to be real. I'm like, but it's not rational. In the inner conflict, and that's why you get yourself a nice partner or spouse or whatever to kind of be like, hey, rationality, it's a thing. Just you're okay.
It's okay to get it on with a stalker. Just don't do let them know where you live, or don't let them. I think that was supposed to be don't let them know where you live, right?
Well, see, that's the thing about stalkers is they'll know where you live whether you tell them or not.
Yes, they will. They will follow you.
Yeah,
Before we go any further into some
okay, so good points there. We're all feeling sympathetic now, or at least empathetic.
Be it you call it your spiritual or religious thinking. You talked about your 2 prior boyfriends. At this point in time in the fall of 2006, where was your thinking spiritually, religiously?
At that time, I considered myself very open-minded spiritually as far as religions go. I find good things in all kinds of religions and truths in all religions, or things that resonate with me. And so I didn't have a particular or specific religion that I was identified with or that I considered to be my religion. It was kind of open and broad, but I still considered myself spiritual.
Okay. Now you mentioned looking for a financial mechanism, if you will, to allow you to make money while you worked on your art and your photography, that sort of thing, right?
Yes.
Did you find one of those, or what you thought was one of those?
Yes. The year before, I went to work at California Pizza Kitchen one day, and my manager asked me where I saw myself in 5 years, and the first thought that jumped into my mind was real estate, something involving real estate. I think I mentioned that. He said he was going to be retired, which I thought was kind of a bold statement because he's about my age. And so he gave me some information, and it was the company that was then called Prepaid Legal. I think there was a magazine and a DVD, and he was really excited about it. And I thought, okay, well, he asked me
I don't know if
to
I'd say I'm feeling empathy,
but
but as a
it wasn't
woman, I
anything that really got me
understand there is
excited.
a
And eventually I
breaking
took it.
point.
I mean, that day at work, I put it next to one of the computer terminals, and I forgot about it.
Still
I
doesn't
stayed at work
justify
for-
her action.
Oh yeah,
Before I
no
remembered
justification
to finally get
whatsoever.
home.
But as a woman, I understand we get to
did you
those
watch that
points,
DVD?
and there's not much
Not
that
at that
can
point. I took
can
it home,
hold
I
you
never looked
back.
at it.
Not that it's
Well, not never.
justified.
I didn't look at it for a long time. It went into a closet, just a storage closet. And about 6 months later, maybe 5 months later, I was cleaning it out, and I was just cleaning things out, and I came across the DVD, and I wanted to throw it away, but I didn't want to throw it away before I at least knew what was on it. So I stopped what I was doing, I popped it into the DVD player and sat down and just gave it my attention for that time so that I could at least throw it away knowing that I knew what was on it before I threw it away. And I just liked what I saw, and so I called him back. And
Called you back? You did?
the person who gave it to me, I called
Okay.
him back. He said he wasn't in the business anymore, but he could refer me to his upline, and so I got his number, and then I called that guy. And he told me he wasn't in the business anymore, but that he would still get me some more material on it, and so I waited a few days and didn't hear back from him. So I finally just went to Prepaid Legal's website and submitted my information to get more information about it.
Did you hear the president or whatever, the upline guy testify at all? He was wearing like gold rings because he's got so many
Yep.
downliners or whatever, and it was
Yep.
like a big commercial for Prepaid Legal. I do want to say we're still trying to get more people into the watch party, just to see if we could test the limits. But I think people are backing out because Lefty says we got it, so maybe we'll trust Lefty. But once you do go in there, don't turn off notifications for everyone, right? Because you can tag everyone. That way we can let you know when things are happening, and also go in there and tell Jung Min that you want to be added to the watch party notifications, so that when we do a watch party, you'll get a notification on that. So she's chiming at me to make that announcement again. But no, the yeah, that guy was great. This whole Prepaid Legal thing is funny. He's like, it's not a pyramid scheme. He's like, well, like I kind of want to like draw it out like Jim did in The Office.
Right? Where it's like here, and then here, and then here. It's a pyramid.
He's just like, it's not a pyramid scheme. Okay. It just made him sound so bad.
No, I don't think I signed up then, but I submitted my information, and a lady named Michelle finally called me back.
And this lady named Michelle that called you back, did you know her?
No,
Prior
I
to
didn't.
her call?
Not prior.
Okay. Was this someone who was in your, and you were?
Well, then,
involved
Farrell,
at
you
the
gotta get
time
people
that
there.
You made this call, right?
Yes.
Okay. And this Michelle, was she in your area?
She was, I think what happens is when you submit information, at least this is how it used to be, you submit your phone number or maybe by zip code or phone number, the referral goes to somebody within your area. So she's in the same area code as I am, but in a different city. She lived in Hemet.
Okay. Did you meet with her, or tell us how that?
She called me. She was actually at one of the conventions. It was March 2006 that I went onto the computer, and during a break, she checked her email, and she got notice of my information and called me right away, and told me where to go to sign up. So I went online and I signed up. And when she came back from convention, we decided to meet at a restaurant. I think it was in Palm Desert or somewhere halfway.
Well, let's before you get too far, what do you mean by you signed up?
I didn't know what that meant at the time, but she just instructed me to go online, purchase the membership, and then also pay the fee to become an
Thank you,
independent
Farrell.
associate with the company.
Okay. So you bought their product, and then you pay an additional fee to sell the product?
Yes.
Right? That's what being an associate means, to be able to sell the product?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And why was it that you were interested at this point in time?
This is where she met Travis, by the
of
way.
becoming an
Is that
an
Prepaid?
associate of this company?
And he held them out to be super successful,
I liked
except
what I saw on the DVD. It
he
was
had to
well-
have
it was
two other
presented very
roommates
well
just
by
to make the
two,
mortgage payment.
executives in the company that have had a lot of success.
Ah,
and they're very
so
eloquent,
successful.
And they were able to explain it in very simple terms with simple math, and it just seemed like something that was that I might have success with.
Okay. So you meet this individual, and are you then involved in selling the product as well, or how do you get involved in that?
Well, she sent me away with tons of supplies, DVDs to pass out to other people, magazines, marketing materials, and I really didn't do anything with it. I just took it home and it sat there and collected dust for a while.
And home, were you still living with Mr. Brewer at that time?
Yes.
And were you still in a boyfriend-girlfriend type relationship at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And just, I keep saying at that time, do you know about what month and year we're talking about?
Well, I was still in March 2006 at this time when I took
Okay.
things home, and like end of March, because she was at the convention and then she came back.
Okay. So these materials, you're telling us they sit, were you actively trying to sell memberships? What were you doing in regards to Prepaid Legal?
Not at that point. She had called me in the summer. There was a team event at Daniel Summit, Utah, and it was scheduled at the beginning of July that year, and I was scheduled to go to my cousin's wedding, and I wanted to build my wedding portfolio, so that was much more important to me, obviously, and to be with my family for that event. So I didn't go to that. I didn't go to the company event that she invited me to, but I went to my cousin's wedding, and then the summer went by, and she called me in early August and asked if I had bought my ticket for the convention, which occurred in September.
So
And,
much
I told her I had not,
detail.
and she was very adamant that I go, and she told me, you know,
Like the one thing I was
it's
disappointed
not
about
right,
is
it's not
all the little sort of
Um,
droning
so
on detail with her
kind of at her
testimony.
behest. I bought
But
the
see,
ticket
and
reluctantly.
I've always thought that's very indicative
in
of a
September
liar.
2006,
Is because
Um,
they're trying to be so believable. They put in so many details. And that's not how memory works. I mean, when you think back to last week, like any day of the week, you don't have all these little details.
I was just trying to remember what day we streamed the documentary on Discord, and I'm like, I think it was Thursday.
Right?
You know, I'm like, I have to really think about it, but she's putting in so much detail here. And
And
the
it's
other
like,
thing is that when it comes to like the important stabby part, I don't really remember.
see, and that, oh, yeah, that right there tells you that just, no, it's because it's the big things you remember and the day to day that you don't. Like,
Yeah.
I remember Thursday because I had to go to court. Like,
I was wondering
that's
where you were all day.
right. I had to go to court and they kept us in the basement. So we didn't even have good reception. And like I tried popping into your stream for a second, but it was very slow and buffery and I couldn't hear. And I'm like, if I try and chat, I'm not going to
It's the
hear.
unusual events, right? That you
Yeah.
remember.
But if you ask me what I did any other day of the week, I don't remember what I had for lunch or breakfast or anything. But I remember Thursday because I had something to do. Like this whole day to day we went shopping. Like no, you don't keep memory. Your brain doesn't work like that. You only have so much RAM.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and it's just the details. Well, first of all, it's boring as hell. Nobody cares. Yeah, like you said, it's a sign of something's just not quite right. And yeah, I don't like it at all. But I didn't watch this trial live, but I heard like how sensational it was that she was on the stand and testified. But now I get why it was 18 days she was on the stand in total with jury questions, cross-examination, and everything. It's interesting.
Were you talked about working 2 different jobs to pay the mortgage, that sort of thing. Was that going on in September of 2006 still?
Yes, I was going to go back to work at Pisto. They closed for the summer for a few months, and the owners leave the desert. They go up to Monterey, actually. And then it reopens mid-September, or maybe it's early September, whenever school starts there, because he had children. So around that time, the restaurant reopens, and I still had my position.
Okay. You also talked earlier, I guess, about the time that you purchased the house. You had $10,000 to $12,000 in the bank. Was that money still in the bank in September 2006?
No, that money was long gone.
Okay.
It doesn't double at flux.
So what is your final?
It looks like
I
it's
was just
double
about
then.
to be like, oh no, it doesn't.
It does once on mine and once on Nick's. So it comes up twice in StreamYard, but it's only
Oh.
once on each of our streams. So, and by the way, you guys can
Interesting.
jump
I
back
like
and forth
that.
and you won't miss anything because we are dual streaming between Nick and myself. So you can give us both the thumbs up and the watch
Are
time
you-
if you want and all that stuff.
So you're able to see Nick's chat as well.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. So
He's
like
so cool.
so this is on Nick's because it has the little weird icon thingy, which means it's on
What
his.
weird
And then
icon thingy?
if you look in StreamYard, you see like a little circle above
Oh.
with a line kind of through it. That means that it's on Nick's chat. And so this is on Nick's chat right here. You can tell because
Interesting.
in StreamYard it has that thing. But yeah, so you could see both chats. And when you chat, it should go both places. So it'll look
Nice.
doubled on StreamYard, but it shouldn't double up in the chat itself.
Sweet.
Financial situation in September 2006?
It's paycheck to paycheck, struggling. I mean, we're not out on the street or anything, but I gave up all of the extra things that I liked, Starbucks, just things like that, just little things that would chip away at your monthly income. Everything was very sparse. Just whatever we could make ends meet.
And your
She had
relationship
to
with
cancel
Mr.
all
Brewer,
her
is it
YouTube
still going fine, or are we
memberships.
still at this dead end that you were describing earlier?
It was something I sort of dreaded because I knew it wasn't going to last, but we hadn't discussed it. I don't know where he was with things. I figured he was kind of in the same realm. I didn't realize his feelings were as deep for me as he said when he was on the stand. We had that conversation about a year later, about 8 months afterward, where he told me that, which surprised me. I just kind of figured he was in another place and I was in another place.
Okay. So you purchased this ticket for this convention, and this was in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay. Was there a specific location for this event?
Yes, it was held at the MGM Grand.
So do you then, did you go to this convention?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you get there?
I drove to Hemet and parked my car at Michelle's house, and we took her She had a brand new Honda Accord, so it was real spacious.
I'll be right back,
She
folks.
and Lenore and I all drove to,
Sounds
the three of
good.
us carpooled to Las Vegas.
Okay. And you mentioned this person, Lenore. Was this a friend of yours or a stranger to you at the time?
She became a friend. That was the first day I met her, and she was also a recruit of Michelle's.
Okay. So you go off to Las Vegas, and these people are virtually strangers to you. Is that what I'm hearing?
Michelle and I would talk occasionally and text. I was comfortable around her. She was almost my mother's age, maybe slightly younger. So I was comfortable around her, but I didn't know her very well.
And to this point in time, it sounds like you hadn't been active in the company at all. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Other than buying a membership?
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Wasn't really looking forward to going, but I figured I should get it an honest shot.
Okay. Did you know anyone else that was going to be at this convention besides your two companions?
I'm sorry?
Did you know anyone else at this convention besides the people you were traveling there with?
It was a fun
No.
show this morning, Rose. Good to see ya.
Well, tell us about what happened when you arrived there.
When we arrived, we checked in. There was just a swarm of people everywhere with all their luggage.
Had to go
They
check
were all
my
their
concrete.
associates that were checking in. They were
Oh.
like, it's a convention of about, I think at the time there were about 12,000 people. So it's in Canada and the US, so all kinds of people from all different walks of life descend onto the MGM Grand for this convention. And not everyone stays at the MGM Grand, but everyone stays around in Las Vegas. So there were a lot of people checking in.
I
We
would
got
join
to a
them maybe
room,
just
we
to get
kind
some
of,
free trips to Vegas.
Relax for a little while,
Right.
walk around, got lunch, and then later got dinner.
You said our room. What
It's a
was the
write-off, right?
Accommodations. Were you sharing it with these two ladies?
Yes.
Pretty sure I can use Mozzarella as a write-off
And-
too.
Her mom was
Oh,
also-
absolutely.
I can't remember, I think there were 4 of us. in the room.
Okay. Now, did you
She
get
does
there
have
on
a
the day the
distinct
convention
bee face,
began, or
doesn't
were you
she?
there earlier in the convention?
We came, well, the convention is on a Friday and Saturday, and we showed up on Wednesday night.
Okay. And to your understanding anyway, what were you to do at convention? Were you attending classes, attending meetings? What was your purpose in being there?
I didn't understand, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been there before. She just told me it's gonna be a great event, it's gonna get you fired up. I had never attended a convention, not that convention, so I didn't really know what to expect.
I think I'd go to the convention and not go to the
And
convention,
how long were
right?
you going to be?
Right?
Well, we were gonna leave Sunday, so 5 days total.
Okay. Is that when the convention ended?
No, my
I
understanding
mean,
was
that's
that it
what you
went all
do.
day
You
Friday,
go
all
to
day
the
Saturday.
convention and
there
then
were
not go to the
smaller,
convention.
team events outside of those.
Okay. And was there a particular team that you were to be involved with at this convention?
Michelle was on.
I
Team
hate that
Freedom,
her
so when
attorney
she
looks
recruited
like
me,
her
that
older
made me
sister.
part of Team Freedom. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. It was,
The female attorney?
Yeah, the female attorney, they look like similar.
They
I've
do a
hated
little
that
bit,
from
don't they?
day one.
Yeah, they kind of model each other's mannerisms and look and stuff. Rabbit, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. We got Eris was gifted a membership.
Yes.
AG, whatever, was gifted a membership. Soko, SLP, Amanda, and
Oh, that's AG Biochemist.
AG Biochemist. Awesome, thank you. Life of Mary. Yep, and Life of Mary was gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Rabbit. That's the one thing that StreamYard doesn't pull up. So I appreciate Jamie jumping in the chat and giving me a heads up on that.
Ooh, my mic is hot. Thank you. It thinks you're hot too. I'll turn it down.
I don't really think it's that loud, but maybe it is. I can't hear it outside.
Sometimes I get a little volume control-y. I gotta be careful.
I do too. And right now, I don't have any feedback in my headphones, and it's really annoying. Because normally I can hear myself talk, and so I don't know my own levels because I can't hear it back.
How do you listen to yourself talk and then also talk?
We all listen to ourselves talk, right? When you're just talking, you're talking, right? And,
Yeah,
and
but
it
when there's a
vibrates through your
delay.
body, you hear it in real time. Well, these headphones do the same thing, and they're noise canceling otherwise. So I can't hear anything at all unless, I can hear you and that, but I don't hear myself as well when I have the headphones on. So I like a little bit of feedback, but the way I have the system rigged up right now, I don't get that feedback, and it's kind of annoying. Yeah, a lot of people say that. They don't like hearing it. It's a radio thing.
See, yeah, I never watch my own streams back because I hate very much the sound of my own
Well,
voice.
yeah, me too. Yeah, it's hard to go back and clip stuff. That's why I don't clip it, because I'm like, I don't want to listen to myself.
Yeah, I can't. I do it for like 2 seconds. I'm like, I can't do that.
Like there was a YouTuber that grabbed part of my stream interview with Julie, the mom of Megan Emirowitz, and used it. And someone told me, and so I went and I clipped it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's my voice. And then I tweeted at her. I was like, maybe you just want. I don't care if you use it. Maybe just give me some credit. And so they fixed all that. But I had to listen to my voice. I hate doing that.
Yeah, it's always weird.
Team Renew. Sorry, there's a lot of different teams in the company. Team Renew, I think, was the name.
And tell us
Any more
about
students so we get to Juan Martin? I
what
have
happened.
no
You said
idea.
You went in your room, you relaxed. What did you do next?
We just wandered around a little. We went out to the swimming pool. There were a lot of people there. I didn't.
Yeah, I
bring
think it's a
bathing
good
suit.
sign.
I
It
didn't think
means we're not
I was thinking business,
narcissists.
so,
Right.
I felt. I don't know. It was 100 degrees and everyone was out in bikinis, hanging out, bathing suits, splashing around. So I felt awkward. I was just standing there in my business clothes. I was getting introduced to a lot of
Did you
people.
jump
I couldn't
in
really
did
keep
you
track
take
of
off your
everyone, a lot
clothes
of
and
things.
jump in?
And you say you had another day before the convention started?
Yes, there was Thursday, and then on Friday was when the convention started.
So what did you do on Thursday?
On Thursday, Michelle, Lenore, and I just went. I don't remember the whole day, but I remember we got dinner at Applebee's across town. We just were having dinner. We just killed time just doing things, running around town.
Were you meeting more associates though as well?
Yeah, before we left the MGM Grand, we walked around and met more people, and I was introduced to more people that she knew.
So there weren't any meetings or anything on Thursday, is that right?
Wasn't aware of any, but later in that evening, I learned that there was a banquet that occurs the night before.
See you later,
convention,
greedy
and that's the
bloke.
executive director.
You can eat and listen. Just saying.
While you were at this convention, did you ever meet?
I'm thinking
an
about going and
individual?
getting some ice cream.
Yes.
To be honest, out
sounds
the
good.
freezer.
Describe for us where you were and what was going on when you met Travis Alexander.
On Wednesday night, this would be early September 2006, Michelle, Lenore, and I were with her mother and I think 2 other associates, and we were all sitting around this round table at the Rainforest Cafe, which is inside the
The
casino and hotel.
Rainforest Cafe. Was that a new
we were
thing
having
back
dinner,
then?
and we were finishing up
2008?
dinner, paid
7 or
our
whatever
check,
it was?
and
I haven't been to
we
one of
left.
those in
We
a
didn't leave the Rainforest Cafe.
minute.
We sort of stayed in this kind of lobby area.
I went to
We were
Niagara
outside,
and we ate at the
pancakes,
Rainforest Cafe
cylinders.
just
And there's just
like a
tons of
month
people
ago.
everywhere. A lot of them are prepaid legal business associates. So
just
I'm
because it was there.
I'm staying.
I
close to
like when
Michelle.
they
She's
do
only
the
person I know.
thunderstorms.
And I'm meeting other people that are on my team, and she introduces me to people that are in my upline and things like that. And there was just a crowd of people everywhere. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw somebody walking toward me, kind of fast-paced. And I noticed it was a guy, and I thought he was going somewhere because he looked like he had a purpose. So I stepped out of the way because I thought he needed to walk past me. But he stopped right in front of me and stuck his hand out and introduced himself.
And was that Travis?
Yes.
What happened from that point in time?
I shook his hand and tried to just log the name because there were a lot of people that I was meeting that weekend. So we just kind of milled around the outside of the Rainforest Cafe a little longer, and then our group began to wander throughout the casino, just past restaurants and sports bars and the slot machines and all that kind of thing.
And you say your group, does that mean the people you went to the restaurant with?
Yes.
And just so we're clear, Mr. Alexander wasn't part of the lunch you had or dinner, at the Rainforest Cafe.
No, he wasn't.
Did he then follow your group around the MGM?
He made it a point to walk with us. He was also on Team Renew, but more like laterally. He was obviously hired as an executive director as far as position in the company. But so he knew all these people. He had met them all before. But as we wandered throughout the casino, he made it a point to walk next to me and keep me engaged in conversation.
Okay. Was this late in the evening when this was going on, or
It was dark.
Why
out, I
does
think,
that
but I
matter?
recall it being very late.
how
Right.
did you part company with Mr. Alexander that evening?
After
Why does that
wandering
matter?
around, we kind of wandered back to the lobby where there's a big golden lion statue.
I don't know. This better be leading somewhere.
Took pictures there with some people. And then after a while, I kind of noticed that I had been ignoring everyone else in the group, and just he and I were talking. And at one point there was a lull in the conversation, and it kind of felt like everyone was staring at us, so it was a little awkward. So I
Whatever
sort
do
of
you
began
mean?
to talk to
Valhalla
people.
awaits. You won't chug a beer, you
And,
coward.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, tell
Are
it.
people not getting notices? That's what I heard.
I don't remember how we parted, but just said goodbye, and Michelle, Lenore, and I went back to
I got a
our hotel
notice.
room, and I didn't really think anything of that meeting.
Yeah,
but
I
think it
DM'd
was
you, right?
Lenore pointed out that she thought maybe he liked me, which made me think differently, I guess, about reflecting on our conversation, because I didn't get that vibe from him.
Okay. Did you speak, after you parted company, did you speak to Mr. Alexander again that night?
Not that night, no.
When did you next speak to Mr. Alexander?
Well, while Lenore and Michelle and I were at Applebee's having dinner, Michelle's phone rang, and she answered it, and I only heard her half of the conversation, and then she hung up and asked me, and just told me that Travis wants to know if I would go to the executive director banquet with him.
And we heard a little bit about this earlier, but from your perspective, at least, perhaps I should say it this way, in your perspective at the time, did you even know what an executive director's banquet was?
No, when Michelle mentioned it, that was the first I heard about it.
And what did you come to understand that it was?
Eventually, I came to understand that it's
I like
it's
the
kind
brother's
of a,
face. It's like he could smell
it's a
her from
banquet
the
where everyone
audience.
dresses up. The women are dressed.
I
in
gotta
masks
look at the
and
face now.
usually in tuxedos.
Oh.
It's kind of
That
an
dude with the
upscale
tie, that's his
banquet,
brother?
with multiple courses, and generally there are speeches and things that other people give at the banquet while you're dining.
Okay.
Show the
Now,
family
once
again.
this invitation came to you, let me ask, were you in any way prepared to attend such a banquet?
No, I turned him down and said I didn't want to go because I didn't. Once I found out that it was
Yeah.
you know, something that we would
Applebee's,
dress up for,
Rainforest
I didn't do anything
Cafe.
for that, so I
She's
said,
endorsing
"Thanks
them all.
anyway." But no thanks, because I didn't. We were on the other side.
Super
of Las Vegas.
awesome
The banquet
restaurants.
started in less than an hour, and I just didn't see how I could get a dress, get back there, just rush hour traffic, all in that.
I'm
span of
so
time,
glad
so-
that song came out. Applebee's on a date night. Do you know that song?
Thursday evening?
Yes, this was Thursday night.
Did you end up attending that banquet?
I did.
Explain to us how you went from the point in time when you said, I don't have anything to wear, it's across town, it's in an hour, to actually attending the banquet. How did that happen?
Well, after I said no, Michelle was she encouraged me. She said it would be a very
Of
good
course you
experience
do,
for me.
Jamie. Is that where your
There
boyfriend
are
takes you on your date
lots
nights?
of executives that go that you should meet. I think her idea was to get me inspired to become more active in the
The
company,
last time I
get
went
me
to
more excited about
Applebee's,
it.
I had
Both Lenore and Michelle were very
I
encouraging.
think I had a
saying
watermelon
that you really should go. This is a
margarita.
very good opportunity.
Or
Not
no,
everyone gets this
martini.
opportunity.
It was interesting.
So I kind of just said, okay, well, we got to find something for me to wear. So we ran around town. I think Kohl's was near Applebee's. I didn't know if there were any suitable
was
dresses at
probably
that store.
Now
But
Kohl's.
7
there,
years ago.
I shop at
grabbed
Kohl's,
things off the
though.
rack, tried them on. Nothing was really
I
working
did.
out. So I was thinking,
I went to Kohl's
I was probably
in
gonna call him
March.
back. Well, actually, I did call him right before.
There's
that and said,
none around me,
I
so.
don't have a dress.
No.
Can you look for one? And I'll let you know. And so I was
There's
in
like
the
4
dressing room
around
at
me.
Kohl's.
Oh, Lord.
By that point, he had my cell phone number, and so he called me and said,
I think Jung had to work or do something.
Did you?
We should have had a
did you
bingo
end up
chart
on
for all the
dress
places that she was going to mention.
We should. Well, I think
Did
we're going to
you
do
end
bingo,
up
though. We
obtaining a
usually do
dress
bingo for the closing arguments.
to wear to this?
Oh,
So we're
good.
definitely going to do bingo.
yes, his friend
Good,
packed an
good.
extra dress, and she was the same size as me, and I guess she heard about his predicament and said that I could wear that dress.
Did you find it strange that Mr. Alexander was asking you to this banquet after only meeting him the day before?
I didn't really think of it as strange. I think the whole week was kind of strange. It wasn't really what I was accustomed to, so I was just going with the flow.
Okay.
Well, this is when she first met
So
Travis, which is kind of
tell us how
relevant,
you,
but the level of detail
Obtained
is
She's
so
trying to
not.
be such a mild-mannered little woman.
After I realized there was a dress
But
at the
it's
hotel,
not
we
working.
dropped everything at Kohl's, hopped in the car and got on the freeway, and it was very slow traffic, but we just made it all the way back to the MGM Grand, and we rushed up to the hotel room where the dress was. I changed, and Travis met me there, met Michelle and I there, and we walked across the complex over to the ballroom where the banquet hall was being held. I'm sorry, where the banquet was being held, in the ballroom.
whose dress was it that you were?
I miss
borrowing?
Jay-Z Penny.
His
Yeah.
friend's wife's
They're
guy.
gone. Sears is
And you
gone.
know Miss Hughes prior to coming to her room and borrowing her dress?
No, I had not met her.
And you mentioned his friend Chris Hughes, this guy's
Right,
husband.
Corn
You
Pope?
met
Get to the
Chris Hughes prior
stabby
to-
part.
That's in like 25 weeks.
No.
We're almost there.
Yeah, right.
When you went to, well, let me ask you this. Was Mr. Alexander there in the room when you changed and got ready?
I think he showed up. I was in the bathroom changing.
Tell us
Where did you
what
send
this
it?
banquet was like for you.
It was nice. I was somewhat accustomed to that level of dining because of my serving experience, but I was always a server, not the guest. So, and I was very familiar with
Level of dining
just
where?
how the courses run and, table etiquette and that sort of thing. So that was not really, it didn't move me
Why
a lot.
does
but
table
what I
etiquette
understand is all of
matter?
those people that were there and,
Is she
kind
talking
of
about
the hour
Applebee's
and
or
that kind of
Rainforest
opened my
Cafe?
eyes
Which one
to
is
the
the
reality
I think they're
level of
talking
dining?
about the banquet
It's not
now.
just a
Oh, the
fly-by-night
banquet. Oh.
company or any kind of get-rich-quick scheme or things like that.
Any kind of what was that?
Like a get-rich-quick scheme, that's not what it was.
Okay.
It was legitimate.
Pyramid.
It sounds to me like
The
then that
lime
you
chicken.
were, to some degree, getting intoxicated by the success you were seeing. Is that fair to say?
I don't know if intoxicated would quite be right, but it definitely made a big impression on me.
Impression how?
It stuck out in my mind. Travis also challenged me. He said every person I take to the executive. Okay.
Nobody approached me.
Etiquette doesn't matter at Applebee's. Oh, we got set. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's the brother. Yeah, he does look like he can kind of smell her from there, right?
Is that is there a sister next to him? Or?
Yeah, so hang on. All right. So my understanding is that, well, this is the sister. This is the
Yeah.
one sister. This is the brother. I don't know who this is. Maybe
But-
someone.
Damn, those looks on their faces.
Well, she just looks skeleton-like
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah.
And she's never happy, but she's also in court for her brother's murder, so that's somewhat understandable.
Yeah.
Was this the... I can't remember who this is.
That's just a bad freeze frame.
Is that the other sister? Okay, so this is the other sister.
Okay.
Right there. So that's the other sister. Let's see. What else is chat telling me? I don't know.
The other sister's face isn't as weird as that is skeleton sister's face.
Yeah, and I think she enhances it. She's got the Amber Heard cheeks going, right? I think that's
Ah.
makeup, giving her
She's
the
got
Amber Heard
the
cheeks.
let me paint my face Skeletor.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The defendants. Yeah. Yeah. I don't expect them to be happy, but still, they don't have to look like that, right?
Terrifying?
She won't even look at them. How dare she? That's her mother. That's Jodi's mother.
I was gonna say there looks like some familiar, and when I
Yes.
say familiar, I mean familiar in the family. There's familiar resemblance
But
there.
Jodi at 43 still looks like that. She still looks pretty good. She didn't turn into her
Mr.
mother.
Harris, did people at this banquet
I mean, she's kind of in prison,
encourage you to become
right?
more involved in?
Yeah, I
Prepaid
mean,
Legal?
she is in prison.
Yes.
Was Mr. Alexander one of those individuals that encouraged you?
Yes, he encouraged me the most of everybody.
Eris is the skinny potato.
Tell us in terms of, you talked about the dining and things of that nature. Did you have any idea when you went to this banquet, or did you learn during the course of this banquet what an executive director meant in terms of income level?
I had an idea. There were
I'm
people
sorry,
that were giving
spoilers.
they're called ring speeches.
Sorry.
That means that they earned $100,000 within a 1-year period. So when you do that, you earn a ring to symbolize that or to, show that. So that's a huge milestone in the company that a lot of people strive for. Travis did not have his ring. He came close. At one point, he said he made almost 80 grand. Sorry.
I couldn't hear the last statements. Restate the question.
How,
Phone, oh,
It's because he asked a
Too
question
late.
and she just started rambling.
thank you.
Wasn't even
May proceed.
answering the question.
to your understanding, how did Mr. Alexander have the ability to invite you to this executive director's banquet?
He wouldn't have to be an executive director to have tickets. So that meant that he qualified for that position.
Oh,
To your understanding,
okay.
what did
He lied to
qualifying
her
to that
how
position?
successful he was.
It meant that he had a certain level of production in the company as far as selling memberships.
What are your thoughts?
I believe that was my understanding of it.
Okay. But you also
Yeah.
mentioned something about a
No,
ring. To
she
your
needs a
understanding
different
at this
color,
banquet, was
light
that something
blue.
different
It
than
doesn't suit
being
her,
an
not
executive
her skin
director?
tone.
Yes, because
I
you
got
can be an
another outfit
executive
I'm gonna
director
show you in a
and
minute.
still not be earning $100,000 or actually
Maybe
anywhere
like
near
a
that.
dark
That's my
blue,
understanding now.
Okay.
but
Did
not,
Mr.
not the
Alexander
light
give
blue.
a speech at this banquet?
No.
Did other people that he was with or people that he knew, did they make speeches at this banquet?
People made speeches, and he may have known them, but I don't know what their relationship was to him.
Okay. The level of income of the people in the room, it seemed like from what Mr. Searcy told us, that was pretty well known. Is that correct?
Restate the question.
Did you have an understanding, or was there any publications that talked about how much money these people were making?
Yes, some of the people are known to, well, you get a ring when you earn $100,000. When your income reaches $250,000, you get a diamond embedded in the ring. When your income reaches $500,000, you get 2 diamonds. And when your income reaches $1 million a year, you get 3 diamonds. So, and then there are people who earn beyond the $1 million mark. I don't know
And
if
this
there
isn't
is
a pyramid scheme?
any kind of outward symbol for that or not.
Okay.
No,
But you
of
were
course
learning
not.
this while you were present at this banquet, right? All these figures of these income figures, right?
Yes, people were mentioning their lifestyle in their speeches. That's incorporated their lifestyle, how things changed, how they struggled or how they're having success now, and they throw out numbers.
Did that speak to you in terms of your current situation? Or your situation as it relates to September 2006?
Yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What sorts of, in general, not specifically what they said, but what sort of statements did they make about the lifestyle in terms of
I
with
think she
Prepaid Legal
got,
out?
correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I think she got implants, breasticles, before Travis, paid for by her last boyfriend that she lived with. I believe that's where we're at.
How long it took
Good
to make
for her.
those sort of things.
Yeah, right?
Their
Oh,
lifestyle, they no longer struggled, was the
I, for
impression that
one,
got.
am a
They
fan
no
of the
longer
natural.
worried about paying the bills.
Same,
They
same.
no
I
longer
am
worried about
all natural
where
all
their
the
money would come
way.
from. They were more
Well,
concerned
for the
with,
most part.
Okay, so we had this debate yesterday during my Ethan Crumbly stream, and Chandler was one way, Mo was another. I want to know what your thought is on this prosecutor's outfit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was there for that.
I just got to know what your thoughts are.
I think I'm in the camp with Mo where she says that looks like something her mother would wear in, I think, the 80s.
Okay,
Um,
that's where I was.
That's where I was kind of falling. I also it's the beige. You can't do those dark muted colors.
Yeah, I was there too, and I wanted to know what your take was, since
Yeah,
you're
I fell
essentially the
into
tiebreaker.
yeah, I fell into the Mo camp there. That's an old lady outfit.
All right, good.
things of a higher nature, I guess you could say, like philanthropy, or who they can turn around and bless now that they've been blessed.
Lefty with the $5
Um,
super chat. Fake
and
ones, real ones,
constructive
don't
ways that
care.
now use
Just
their
give me the
income
big
to
ones.
better society.
Thank
And
you.
that was something that also spoke to you?
Yes,
Yeah,
very
but see, if they're fake, I'm afraid that there are other things that are fake.
Right? What else
After
is
this banquet.
what is she
What
gonna
else
start
is
taking
fake?
off? What else is being pulled under?
What did you and Mr. Alexander stay together?
After the banquet, we left the banquet room, it was like a big ballroom.
I think
and
they
everyone
act
sort of
more
mills
like a
around
wedding
outside
ring. They're
and
kind
takes
of a
pictures with
gift,
people, and
right?
so Travis took me around to a few different executives, and I got my picture taken with a bunch of people and him. And we just did that, and after that, I changed out of, well, we went back to the hotel room, and I changed out of the dress and back into regular clothes.
Okay.
I'm not reducing her only to
Without
her
telling me
outfit.
specifically what he said.
And
during
I
this
have
evening
a theory
with Mr.
here.
Alexander.
I have a theory with this.
Okay.
What, in my opinion, lawyers and prosecutor, they're storytellers. They're showmen.
Mhm.
They're there to present a story and to persuade people to believe what they're saying is the truth. I do believe that to a certain extent, looks do have a slight impact on that. Because if you're looking at someone who's got a sloppy tie, I do feel like sometimes how you present yourself is also how people are going to see you.
True.
And so I am a fan of maybe you should dress how you want people to perceive you and not as an old woman.
So can we comment on the red shirt and black tie of the defense counsel here?
I think that's way too bold. No, you can't wear. You cannot wear this. You remember that episode of The Office where Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute? It's the dinner party at David Holmes'
He
house,
looks like the
or
waiter,
David Holmes.
right? Because he was wearing that maroon shirt.
Yeah, and they make them trade shirts, but like you don't wear this color. This color is not a color that is worn on. I think this is like uniform color. Like you can't wear something this bold, in my opinion.
Now the other defense counsel with her purple blouse and blue jacket.
I think what she's wearing is respectable.
Yeah, I'm good with
Where it's, it's a nice suit. It's got a little bit of color, not too much color as to be like overbearing, but you have that nice kind of muted, not muted top, but you have that overlayer where you just kind of have that color as that accent. Whereas I feel like it's like a purpley shirt, right?
Yeah.
Which is a good color for that lady. This red, you can't, I don't know, as a dude, I don't think you can go this bold in court.
I'm just wondering if you could in 2012, 2013 when this case started.
Yes, he looks like he's Alexandria Nolan says he looks like he's headed to homecoming dance. Yes, this is something you see high school boys wear to dances.
That's, you know what? That's exactly right. I know my daughter was taken to prom and her boyfriend at the time wore something very much like this. Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm pretty sure when I went to winter formal, like when I was a junior or something, my date was wearing this color shirt. And so I'm just like, I see high school dance. Nope, it's not meant for court. It's not appropriate.
I like that we're having this fashion conversation.
Well, I mean,
Did you get the sense?
a lot of people do, you criticize them for what they're wearing. I mean, at some point, you do have to dress professionally. You do have to dress a certain way to maintain a certain air about you. And whether we like it or not as humans, on a subconscious level, we are judging, whether or not we're judging people on a slight basis of their appearance.
I'm judging this guy 100% on his appearance before he even opens his mouth. And then when he opens his mouth, it fits the appearance.
Exactly. It's like when you're walking down the street, you see a homeless person, you're like, oh, that's a homeless person by the way they're dressed. And so we do have some slight base where we do judge people on,
Turk's wearing the exact same outfit right now.
But it's like, I don't know, in my opinion, you do have to dress a certain way. And especially when you are going to court and you want to have either a confidence about you. I just think.
He does have tiny hands.
He does.
Oh my God, I'm never going to be able to not see those tiny hands now.
I can't unsee that. That's bad. They look
don't
like
even
tiny
look. It looked like they
lady-
were photoshopped in right there, don't they?
They kind of do.
Oh, okay. He's on Court TV now, so we can poke fun at him. He's still a public person.
But no, I do believe. I mean, and that's when I love Nicole. Like, I thought she was one of the most professional defense attorneys I had ever seen.
Talking about Zachariah Anderson's attorney?
Yeah, Nicole Mueller. Between her appearance, her cadence in court, for me, I loved her as a female attorney. I want to interview her just as a attorney because she is, in my opinion, phenomenal.
I will
And
say
she
I
had a
wasn't a
great
fan of the
finesse.
outfit she was wearing during closing arguments, and I was a little concerned that she was going to be giving the closing arguments in that outfit. I would rather have her give the closing arguments in that outfit than not give them.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that last day.
The last one was, I feel, a little bit pushing the envelope slightly, but I still loved it. I'm like, she's a fucking cool ass bitch and she rocks the courtroom. But again, you do have to have that confidence about you. And I do believe how you dress does give you a certain amount of confidence.
This guy's not confident in his
No,
client's
and it's
story.
because of that shirt.
Yeah. They don't
Yeah.
have a good
Said he
rapport either.
had
You can hear it back and
a
forth.
romantic interest in you.
Not really. He wasn't really flirting with me. He wasn't giving off that vibe. I did get the impression that he was trying to impress me because he was talking about income, and but he was talking to the guy next to him, but he was saying it very loud.
You can pull it off sometimes,
So
Lefty.
I got that impression, but not that he was trying to like woo me, if that makes sense.
It depends on the occasion.
Like, his tie is almost too big.
During
the
that
brother.
evening, did you
Yeah,
learn
yeah, it
anything
needs
else
to be
about Mr.
thinner.
Alexander, where he lived, his family, his
Does she have a teardrop,
work
the
history?
sister,
Did
under
you
her
learn
eye?
things like that about him?
I think it's
Or is that a
Talked about
mole?
his family, but
I think it's
the
a
night
mole.
before he talked about, he said he was from Riverside,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
that he was from Riverside.
Okay,
He told me he was a 49ers fan, which I kind of didn't believe because he was from Southern California, and most people like the Chargers. in the
No,
area.
they can wear more than blue and black, but they
it had to do
can't
with
wear
Stephen.
that
I guess
bright
he was a member of
red.
the church in a very
If
A
you had
man-
like a maroon, kind of darker,
He
like a
asked me about
darker
the
red,
UFC, if I
maybe
was familiar with it.
maroon,
That was an interest
he
had,
could have pulled
and
it
he was
off,
familiar
but
with it.
I'm going to do a
Somewhat.
fashion show because I
And
have
UFC,
very
is that an
subtly
acronym for
muted
something?
shirts,
Yes, it's
but I
an
have a
acronym for
lot of
Ultimate Fighting
ties
Championship.
and socks because that's where you accentuate.
and
Ex-
what was it, the Taylor Business
that
trial,
what we
where
would call
the
case
judge
fighting?
had all the
Yes.
amazing
Case fighting, the
ties,
whole-
Yes.
okay.
where it's like that's how you
Um,
express. It's like your ties and your socks, and oh my God, he had amazing
And it
ties.
sounds like you mentioned the church. Did he convey his faith to you that evening?
Not that evening. We went to convention on Friday. He had invited me to sit down on the floor where the executive directors sit. It's a bunch of chairs set up, so it's closer to the stage instead of the stadium seating.
And just so we're clear, is this the day after the banquet, right?
Yes, this is the Friday morning. I had a ticket, which was several
My
seats up.
day
It was
goes.
with Michelle.
I have a wonderful yellow tie on.
And I got a text message from him that said there's an open seat down here if you want to sit closer to the stage.
Okay. And from your understanding, this would be an area.
Yeah, she is. She's starting to look
sound
directly
like
at the
what you're
jury
telling us is
too.
an area that you wouldn't otherwise
I don't
be
think
able to
that's a
sit.
good
Is
thing.
that-
Yes, you needed a special pass to get into that area.
Yeah,
and
I'm not
do you know
sure.
why?
I mean, you
It's
can.
reserved for executive directors only, so you have to be qualified for that position in order to get into that area.
Okay. And this,
It's actually a
And I'm
coach
sorry, what
thing
did you call
because a
this?
lot of attorneys
You said
tell
it
their
was a
clients when
meeting,
they're
or what
answering
was
the
this
questions to look at the
Friday?
jury. You're
It was-
talking to the
I guess
jury.
I call them sessions, like
But
there's
it's
morning
not
session and an
always
afternoon
a
session.
good thing.
Yeah,
And
I feel it's
for
not
those of us who
so
haven't
natural.
been to one of these sessions with Prepaid Legal,
Yeah, because you're having a
what is
conversation with
this,
your attorney,
Yeah.
involved?
right?
Is there
So
is
I'm
there
having a
number of
conversation. I
people?
shouldn't be looking
Yes, it
over
feels like
here.
Answering. Yeah, it
It's
feels
a big
weird.
stadium. I don't know how big. Maybe
It feels coached and
football size.
unnatural.
Maybe not quite that big, but it's pretty huge.
Well, just so we're clear, we're not talking the size of a football stadium, right?
No,
Like
but it
the
holds a
field?
lot of. It holds well over 10,000. I think it can hold like 15,000 people.
We'll have to go judge.
Okay, so please go on.
So that was
I
building
gotta
up.
see if I can. I have
decided
bow
to make my way
ties.
down. I don't remember
and,
how I
like
got there. I think he met
actual
me,
bow ties that I
at the area and
tie.
took me over to where the seat was.
Gotta see if I can
and,
still do that.
I went and sat down
They're
there.
not easy.
And the event starts with the national anthem, and then
And
the
getting
Canadian
them
national
the
anthem,
bow
because they
just
represent
right.
The companies in both countries.
Remember the
And
first
then
time I tried to
just
do
different
it,
things
my
that started.
arms were
It's kinda
like
mixed
going
up. There's,
numb
Training, entertainment.
and like
So, I mean,
weakening
it's like
because I
not
was there
entertainment,
for
but
an
it's
hour
their
trying to
speeches.
tie
I
it.
think they use the term entertainment.
Oh.
Entertainment.
I don't know what
It's
happened
it's
there.
entertaining training. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
I will say she
entertaining
is more
training.
likable than Amber Heard.
I
I'll
think
give
so.
you guys that.
Anyway, we just looked at these. I just watched these speeches and
Like all of a sudden it got quiet.
took notes in my journal and took pictures, that kind of thing.
What were these?
Can you hear it okay? Didn't it just get quiet?
Sure, I'll butcher it.
I feel like the
But
volume did
this,
drop a little bit, but I'm still okay
entertainment
hearing
slash
it.
training, what was that, from your perspective, designed to do?
It's designed to, well, you get more training. Sometimes there are new products that they roll out and they train on that. But at the same time, it is designed to not be boring also. It's something that you usually riveted to. There's a lot of note taking. Some people come out and just rally up the crowd. They're very good speakers. They have a lot of energy. The ring speeches that were heard at the night before also said on stage again, so that all the associates that were unable to attend the banquet also get to hear those speeches. They're generally very inspiring because they're success stories.
Okay. And is this meeting in this large facility, is this something that lasts all day?
Yes, we start, I don't remember the time, but we start somewhat mid to early morning, go to lunch, break for lunch, and then come back in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
I don't know what
till
happened.
Late afternoon.
Okay. Did you have lunch with Mr. Alexander?
No, that day I didn't. I went
boosting
to
isn't working.
Get sushi with Michelle.
Okay. When you
That's
go
weird.
back to this meeting, do you then return your seat near Mr. Alexander?
Yes. I think he invited me one more time, so then after that, I just stayed in that seat for the rest of the convention.
Bird arms.
Did the entire convention, you said the rest of the convention, did the entire convention take place in this one large room?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to be
So
really loud
You
now
spent
compared to
entire
the
2 days
audio.
sitting next to him at this convention.
Yes.
Did you have dinner with him
Yeah,
what would be,
little
I guess,
bit.
Friday night?
Not Friday night. No, we
I'm
didn't.
turning us down.
I
Okay.
don't really remember Friday night, actually.
Tell us about Saturday then.
Okay, Saturday I was again
Okay,
getting.
let us know if our
lunch with
volume compared to
Michelle.
the courts
We
is.
started texting each other
good.
sort of back and forth. By this
For
point,
goodness me.
it was pretty clear that he liked me, more than friends, he wasn't being overtly flirtatious, but he was
I'm
being very
back.
friendly. And I decided that, well, Michelle told him that I had a boyfriend.
Did you have a boyfriend at the time?
Yes, I was still with Daryl.
Did you know, to your understanding, was Mr. Alexander aware of the fact that you had a boyfriend?
Yes,
Overruled, you may answer.
yes, he was aware.
And you were just telling us that you got a sense of,
You know, I'm going to try something.
Mr.
We're at
Alexander
146. I'm going to try refreshing this because I think something happened.
Overruled, you may answer.
Yes, he was
There we
aware.
go. Okay. Now we got it.
and you were just telling us
And we're
that you got a sense of Mr. Alexander having an interest in you that wasn't strictly business, right?
Yes.
And you mentioned you were getting that sense. What things did he do to give you that sense?
He was texting me after the banquet. He said really nice things. You're a great girl. Okay, sorry.
Not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted, just affected the listener.
Oh my God, could he respond any more
Overruled, you may
boring?
continue.
He was friendlier and friendlier, but not inappropriate. But after I learned that he already knew I had a boyfriend
Flux
and
is
he
going to
continued
judge me.
to act that way, I
Why?
thought it would be. I thought I
My
needed to
yellow
pull him
tie.
aside and tell him that I have a boyfriend, so that he didn't get the wrong impression.
No, I've
from
seen the
me.
yellow tie.
Okay?
I
And
think.
did you do that?
Yes,
And when was that?
that was Saturday night. We did have dinner at the Rainforest Cafe again. The whole Team Renew met. They reserved the upper floor of the Rainforest Cafe.
This is the
We all had dinner
Rainforest
there
Cafe.
and then hung out in the food
I
court.
mean,
after
hey,
that
I
and
guess when
just
you're all
talked
on
for a long time.
conference,
And
that's the
then,
place to go.
We went. I texted him earlier and said, I'd like to talk to you later.
She's a declaring.
Rephrase the question.
You know how hard it is to pull off green and white in a suit?
What
I'm not.
motivated you to, or I shouldn't
Yeah.
say that. How did you arrange this conversation with
Yeah, those
Mr.
are
Alexander?
difficult colors.
I indicated that I would like to talk to him when the time was appropriate, alone, and he said, okay. So we were hanging out in the food court, and he asked me, do you want to go for a walk? And I said, I thought this would be my opportunity to talk to him, so we started going for a walk around the casino. It was very late. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning at that point, and we started wandering near the stores. They're all closed at that point, so there are plenty of people over in the casino area where all the slot machines are, but this end of the building was kind of empty. So as we walked, I explained to him that I
I'm
had a
just
boyfriend.
confident in all things that are me,
And,
Lefty.
I told him I liked him,
I don't need to
but
prove
I'm in a
anything to anyone.
relationship. And I explained a little bit about the state of my relationship. I didn't go into a lot of detail.
That you were
I
living with a
just-
man.
What do you mean by you explained to him the state of your relationship?
I didn't go into a lot of detail. I just said I'm not sure where it's going, but he's my boyfriend. That's what I said. I'm monogamous, so I'm with Daryl. I'm with Daryl. I'm not with anybody else.
She's a serial monogamist, right? Just jumps from one guy to the next.
Did he
Hmm.
respond
her.
in any way to what you were
Isn't
saying?
that how most people are?
He
right?
smiled.
You know, most people,
and
once you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship.
he was aware that that's what I was, well, he assumed that's what I was going to talk to him about. And so at that point, it was clear, I thought. And I was able to relax a little
It's
more.
cool,
and
Lefty.
just
I'm
be
glad you're
friends. And so
out
we found a
about
park
your
bench. It
insecurities.
was kind of like a park bench against a wall at that end of the building. And we sat down and ended up talking for a few more hours of just about everything.
Did he end up commenting?
All right, I know we're in the middle of Jodi Arias, but I need to know what Flex thinks of my yellow tie and blue shirt.
See, yeah, I've seen this. I do like this look where you have the dark blue, well, I guess it's not so much a dark blue tie or a dark blue shirt, but I do like the blue and yellow combo. I think it's a good subtle where it's like it's professional, but it's enough to be like it's not too out there. I really like the gray yellow blue combo.
Okay.
But
see, I like it too.
I did my time at Men's Warehouse for a while. When I was in school, and this is why I'm particular about ties and shirts. When I was in school for criminal justice, which, you know, that degree can just get thrown off into the sun. I was working part-time at Men's Warehouse just for like extra cash and whatnot. And so I, you know, spent my time putting together tie combos and shirt combos for different occasions. And I did like the dark gray. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that I would pair that up, like I would give somebody that to wear to court. However, I do not see, like, I don't see that as a bad outfit for court.
Cool. I'm not a traditional well, this guy on the screen right now is not traditional either. But there's a lot of attorneys that are like, oh, you wear a white shirt and sort of a blue tie, and then you have like your black jacket or something like that. But I don't like that. I like to be a little, I don't know, stand out.
Yeah, it's not like rebellious or anything, but it's like you're there for court for this very, somber, not somber, you're there for this very important purpose. And so sometimes I like just every once in a while where it's like, screw you to the man and you wear a flare tie or whatever. Like
right.
The judge from the Shabiz, like his wacky, insane ties were amazing. I love just that little subtle, I'm going to be who I want to be. These are my ties.
Yep.
It's the
I
accents.
like that.
Yeah, it's the accents you do to
it can almost
your outfit.
It can almost show a sign of confidence. Although
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this guy's outfit shows confidence.
No,
Though
it shows
he's being bold and he's standing out, there's a subtlety to it. Brandon, let's go.
This is what I've been wearing since I've been in high school. So I'm going to keep wearing these combos.
The $4.99 super chat. Did David drug this diva down dear? I don't know who you're referring to, but thank you for the $4.99 super chat.
On the what you should do regarding your current relationship.
Yes.
Lex is digging deep to not say it looks like
Did
crap.
he advise you that
No, like I said, I love the
should
combo. Not necessarily
settle
would I
for
pair it
what
for
you
court,
would
but I like
do?
the combo.
Overruled, can you answer yes or no?
Yes.
Lefty with the $5 super chat. Thank you for giving me
While
the
you were
opportunity
out
to
on this
derail your stream. It's my
bench.
favorite thing to do. Mission accomplished. You are very welcome, Lefty.
was this outside
Thank
or
you for the
inside?
$5 super
Indoors.
chat.
And you said the two of you sat and spoke for a couple hours.
Yes.
Hey, Valhalla.
What's up, Val?
Did
My
you
girl.
talk about religion or faith during that period of time?
Yes, the topic did turn to religion.
Did he share with you his membership in the Mormon church?
Yes, I knew that he was Mormon at that point.
Like, this is
Michelle
at
said it as if
1.25
warning,
speed, people,
like,
right?
It should be a warning. I
And
didn't know
it's
what that
still,
meant.
like,
because I wasn't
dragging-
familiar with the Mormon
Yes.
church.
Holy shit.
I didn't know, I just
I was gonna
assumed
up
it
it
was
to
another
1.5
Christian
and to see if
denomination,
it made a
like
difference.
any other, and
I didn't
I
realize
mean, I've heard
it
about
was.
Mormonism over the years. Mormonism is the butt of a lot of jokes on South Park, and
See,
some people
that's
just
too
seem
fast.
very
But no, this is
antagonistic.
1.25.
Mormonism
I
is
didn't
the butt of a
understand
lot of jokes, especially in South Park, and it's funny.
Sustained.
You know, I wanted to get
Did you
Danny
have
on direct
concerns about
input on
being
this
around
case.
Mr. Alexander because of his membership or
Because
practice of
converting to
Mormonism?
Mormonism,
No,
that's pretty
not at all.
intense.
Someone's religion wouldn't
Right.
affect that at all.
Okay. Did he express a desire for you to learn more about his faith?
No, he implied it, but he didn't openly start proselytizing or anything.
Okay. During this conversation at the bench in the MGM, did he ever attempt to kiss you?
Not there on the bench, no.
But he did that night?
We're not supposed to
He
get to
leaned in very
cross-examination
close,
until
as if
like
he wanted to kiss
day.
me, and he was licking his lips, and he was staring at my lips, and
This is day 2
like
of
he
her
wanted to kiss me,
testimony.
but he didn't.
And where did this occur?
On
So-
the elevator.
Thanksgiving.
How close to you did he get?
Well, we got into the elevator, and
Judge, to be honest, though, she was asked how close did he get?
Sustained.
How close did he get to you?
he got right in my face. I would say 4 inches, maybe 5.
Okay. And this wasn't forced based on the size of the elevator, right?
No, the elevator was empty.
Okay.
At one point, there was someone else that stepped on, but
Large elevator?
yes.
Apparently, Travis liked heavy
He got
petting
within
with
4
his
inches of your
other
face.
girlfriend he was courting after Jodi.
Yes, he
Oh.
put his,
Objection, we haven't spoken.
He liked
Nice.
the kissy and the heavy petting.
Once he got within 4
It was
inches of your
inappropriate
face,
for the
With his
lovely
face, is
young
that
woman.
right?
yes.
Oh, I
did he
did
do?
see that. And I'm like,
He licked his lips and said, I wish
oh,
you
I
didn't.
remember. I remember back, you know,
Sustained.
when I was a young, naive little innocent girl before I joined the army.
Did you kiss him?
No.
Did he make contact with you? Physical contact?
Yes.
How?
Yeah, when they're
He
14.
put his arm around me
Yeah.
when he walked me back to my hotel room.
When he walked you back to your hotel room,
Yes.
did he attempt to kiss you again?
No, it seemed very obvious to
Objection,
me.
seems like he attempted to kiss her first, I said he did not.
No, actually, that's not what you said.
Overruled. You may answer the question.
He made it very obvious that he wanted to kiss me, but he was restraining himself. It was very obvious restraint.
Sometimes you just need to pet the bitch.
And did he attempt to invite himself into your hotel room?
No.
And did you still have roommates per se for the hotel room?
Yes, Michelle and Lenore and I believe her mom were inside sleeping at that hour.
And this would have been late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The flickering is in the original
Is
stream.
this
I
the
don't know
last you
what's up.
see of Mr. Alexander when you're in Las Vegas?
No.
After that evening, when was the next time you saw him?
She's very
Sunday
pious.
morning
Only
they
the
had what's called a
loopholes and the
breakout,
murdery things.
and it was in a small theater near the MGM Grand, within walking distance. So that team, I think it was Team Renew, maybe a few other people not on that team were present. I saw him there. I didn't sit next to him. And then
Objection, to be honest, though, she was asked what she saw.
Sustained.
Yeah, according to her most recent appeal opinion, the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court said that the prosecutor was playing a lot of dirty tricks and being improper during her testimony. And I have to imagine it was during her case in chief, rather. And so we saw a little bit of that with the other witness, the first couple of witnesses, and I think we're going to see more on cross. But I'm not exactly sure what they're referring to. So apparently this prosecutor does inappropriate things with Jodi on the stand. We'll leave it at that for now.
Where was he when you saw him?
he was at the theater, and I was at the theater. And then he invited me to,
Objection, we haven't spoken.
What did he invite you to do?
he invited me to go to, it was a buffet of some kind back at the MGM, where he and a few other people were having breakfast.
Nice, Jamie. Trying to
Did
scoop
you
my
accept
membership.
his invitation to have breakfast?
Yes,
And you said this was Mr. Alexander and other individuals, right?
yes.
Okay. Were these people you knew previous to this point in time, or were these more individuals you were meeting?
I believe I'd met them over the weekend. They were people on my team and in my upline.
Okay. The friends that you came with, you drove from California with, were they at this breakfast?
No.
Where were they, to your knowledge?
I don't know. I don't know where they went after the breakout.
Okay.
Thank you,
This
Bass.
breakfast with Mr. Alexander, was that the last time you
We
saw
try
him?
to offer something. We have fashion
No.
tips today from
Well-
Flux.
At the convention?
No.
Okay,
I stayed with him until he left, I think.
okay. And what did you do after breakfast, or did he leave right after breakfast?
We walked over to the front desk where he checked out, and we walked out to the front where there were valets, and he was loading stuff into the taxi.
So the first thing that I noticed was during his case in chief, when the prosecutor dropped the camera, dropped it accidentally, he claims, when it really wasn't accidental, because he was literally asking about, can you drop the camera and set it off, make it take a picture, and then drop the camera. The next time that I noticed was when he had the girlfriend of the woman that he was courting on the stand, and he pulled up the autopsy photos or photos of Travis dead and threw them up on the screen without even an indication. It wasn't even relevant. He was just trying to get the shock or something from that. And then he left it up there when he went to a sidebar. So like the whole jury and like the Travis's family walked out crying because he left them up there. And so that's the kind of stuff that we've seen thus far. I don't know what else is coming, but that's the stuff that the prosecutor's doing.
Oof.
And getting ready to go to the airport.
Were there arrangements made for you
I think
two
you have
to
a future,
have
Flux.
contact with each other again? How did you leave
Ooh.
things?
Flux, House of Fashion.
Yeah,
You
he indicated
should
he
do
would
an
call me.
online
I didn't really expect
website.
him to call me,
You could do
but
that.
that's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
what we
I
did. We
mean,
hugged.
maybe if I wore more than
Did he send a
t-shirt
kiss
and
you
jeans
before
every
getting in
day.
No.
I'm comfortable.
When did you leave the convention?
That's right. We did see someone
Eleanor and I
drop an
checked
egg
out
in
a few
court.
hours. We got lunch at the Rainforest Cafe. Like,
That
and then we
was
checked out
that
after.
was interesting.
That was weird.
And I presume you drove back to California?
Yes.
And it's good to know that if I fall, my brain is gonna act like an egg and
After
just
you arrived back in California,
Don't even
You
need
were
to
still
hit your
living
head or get
in
a
the
brain
hotel,
scan. We
right?
just know
Yes.
that that's what's going to happen.
right. Good
was
lord.
it back to work, or what did you do when you got
I
back?
know. We did
I
a
did have to
drinking
work.
game with Rainforest.
Just back in the same routine, except Travis began to call me.
At this point in time, when you came back to California, the Palm Desert specifically, did you still consider Darrell Brewer to be your boyfriend?
Yes.
Were you still sexually active with Mr. Brewer after you came back from the convention?
No.
Why not?
I don't recall specifically why. Oh, well, because we broke up, I guess that would be why. But we didn't have sex after the convention. I remember prior to that was the last time that we did.
I got
Prior to the
66
convention.
Yes.
and Nick has 52.
And you talk
Nice.
about breaking up with Mr. Brewer. When did you do that?
Well, I got back from convention on Sunday, and I broke up with Daryl on Thursday of that week.
She broke up with
Why
him
did you break up
immediately upon
with
meeting
Darrell
Travis
after you came back from
Wow.
that week.
The relationship was already, like I mentioned, was kind of fizzling. I loved him very much, but it wasn't going anywhere. At least we had different visions for our futures. Because it had been like that from day one, it took me 4.5 years to really just let it go because I really loved him. Also, on Wednesday night, I was invited to go out to some of Travis's friend's house. And I knew Travis would be there, and I didn't want to. I'm kind of like
Yeah,
one
she's
way
like
at
a
time kind of
serial
person, so I
monogamous,
didn't
right?
want
She's
to
just
have
gonna
anything
she'll
overlapping
jump from
and
guy
any
to
different
guy
interests.
instantly,
With
but
Travis,
it's
Yeah.
only
I
with
was
one
beginning
guy at
to
a
sort of
time.
develop
Yep.
just the
She'll
seeds of
break up,
interest with
but
Travis.
immediately get with somebody
And
else.
I didn't want to be in a relationship when I went there because I didn't want there to be anything hindering. I didn't want to feel guilty for flirting or sitting next to him or doing any of that. I wanted to be out of a relationship so that I could not cheat on anybody, if that makes sense.
Would it be correct to say that then, from what you're telling us, Mr. Alexander motivated you to break up with Darrell Brewer?
The things he said made a big impression on me. It wasn't just about relationships, it was about my whole life, my career, and the direction of my life. So it made me step back and take a look at where I stood and where I was going. So that was part of the reason.
You mentioned something that I think is interesting. You said you came back with a different vision of the future. You came back from the convention with a different vision of the future than when you left, right?
Yes.
How could it?
Remember, she's still
Describe
on
for us,
direct,
if you
right?
could, what was your
Yes.
vision of the future?
She's still on direct, Moni. So yeah, how could a girl so meek, speak so meekly, kill anyone on purpose? From what I haven't watched the cross examination, but from what I understand, she gets feisty, and you can kind of see this is the Jodi Arias that killed Travis on cross examination. So I'm really looking forward to that. But right now, remember, she's on direct. This is friendly conversation, although it's not that friendly. It is essentially. It's not a hostile witness sort of situation. This is supposed to be friendly exchange of information.
Here, before you went to this convention in September 2006.
It was kind of nebulous. It wasn't very clear. I just knew that I wanted to, basic things. I knew I wanted to have kids someday. I knew I wanted to be married someday. I knew I
she's
didn't
not
want
getting
to
that.
struggle paycheck to paycheck.
Not
I
anymore.
didn't see myself living a life of excess, but definitely being able to pay the bills and provide for family somewhat, or just at least be a joint contributor to the household. I saw myself getting more into photography, and hopefully I still had hopes of being successful in real estate eventually.
And when you come back from
Does
convention,
anyone know when she was born?
what's your vision of the future?
I still had those desires, but leaving convention, I can't really describe it. It was painful actually, because I knew that there was a lot of change on my horizon at that point. I couldn't continue with the same life that I'd been living, because it's kind of like my eyes were opened to a lot of things that I had been ignoring. And I didn't, the idea of change was uncomfortable. I really loved Daryl, but I couldn't continue with him.
That sounds more about things on a personal level. But what about your vision for your future on a professional level? Were you believing, leaving this convention, that Prepaid Legal was going to make
Oh
you
God,
rich?
is she a Leo?
Um,
Oh God.
the idea of selling the membership was uncomfortable to me.
Hold on, let me.
What's
I
a
have to
Leo?
I
verify
believe in
this.
the product, and but just hitting up my friends and family.
By the
seemed
way,
awkward.
she met Travis in September of 2006, and by November 2006 she was baptized in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She converted in 60 days.
Wow.
So I had that desire, but I couldn't quite see myself going out and doing it, at least yet. So
Okay.
Michelle invited me to an event a week later, and it kind of reiterated some of the things I'd seen at convention, and I continued to go to these events. From then on, I became more active as far as plugging into those events. And
Oh God,
how to
Travis's
sell the
birthday
membership
was
and
the day
have
after
success,
my
and just
birthday.
the general vision of it became more crystallized.
She
in
was
my
born
mind.
July 9, 1980.
Was there a general point in time then when you decided
July
that
9th.
to, for lack of a better phrase, go all in Prepaid Legal in terms of your future?
Oh no, she's a
I had
Cancer.
I
That's
had
why.
periods in the company where I was very productive.
What's a
We're good.
and,
Cancer?
Huh?
the money I
What's
made
a Cancer?
was surprising.
That's
I didn't
just
realize the
her
compensation plan was
astrology sign.
as generous as it was. And
Yeah, I know, but
liked
what does
that.
it mean?
But I found it difficult.
Well, I mean, I
to
know it
maintain
means
that level of-
nothing, but what do people claim that it means?
Cancers tend to be.
Let's see, the personality of a Cancer.
Yeah, you're gonna, because I can't think off the top of my head, but I know
Ruled by the moon.
bullshit.
Oh, so she has different personalities depending on the phase of the moon. That's
yes, yes.
fun. Okay. They attract
Versus-
friends and lovers through their loyalty, commitment, and emotional depth. Oh, God, okay. That's Jodi.
Working
Hey,
other
Val the
jobs?
Cancer.
Yes.
Did you eventually get to a point where Prepaid Legal was your only job?
No.
I'm a Leo, so I'm
How
just
much
over the
did
top
you
and
make?
dramatic.
In a year with Prepaid Legal, and you'd say your most productive year?
I'm a Pisces, whatever that means.
I really didn't make anything for several months at a time, and then
Pisces.
1 month I made
Oh my, that's the
Approximately-
fish, right?
1,700,
Yes.
and the next month I made, I want to say a little over 1,000. So those 2 months were really good.
How much time?
That's
a
because
week
she
were you
signed up all
spending
of her friends and
investing in
families in
Prepaid
those
Legal?
first 2 months.
Not nearly as
Then
much
you
as I
run
could
out
have
of
been.
people that you
They
can
have
sell
That'll-
shit to.
goals in the
That'll
company,
say yes to you.
things that they'd like you to commit to, such as talking to other people about a minimum number of people per day or per week. And I don't remember them now because it's been so long, but just different. They're called 10 core commitments. At least that's what they were called then. And they tell you that if you just do these things systematically, then success follows.
How many hours a week were you working at the restaurant?
Okay, so I have a summary here. All right, so nurturing, sensitive, compassionate, self-protective, security-seeking and offering, loving, and displaying a goofy, let's see, I guess just a goofy sense of humor.
See, and I'm not like a whole I believe all the astrology signs and whatnot. I think it's fun. And I do think there is a correlation between the time of year that you're born and possibly the type of personality you might have. So just people in the summer, I feel like we are a different breed than people who are born in the winter.
Great success. I agree as well. But the thing is so if you go through all the zodiac signs, you can literally just pick any of them and be like, yeah, okay,
That
I meet
applies
some
to
of
me.
those. That
That
applies to me,
applies to me.
right? Yeah, it's just it's self-fulfilling.
Yes.
But
I
I
think
just
it's
like-
a
it's
fun,
fun.
At that time,
it's a fun little
I was still full-time
whatever, but I don't actually believe
at Cousteau, but eventually I quit that job. And then I only had one job.
Okay.
Very emotional homebodies.
You broke up with, I want to go back to this
Yes, vague
conversation
enough
you
to be
had with
accurate. That's a
Daryl.
good way to put it.
Exactly.
Did you guys sit down and the two of you talk about the relationship?
Yes, I guess I wasn't as specific as I thought I had been. It sounded like he didn't have he didn't get that impression, but we sat down. I actually had a conversation with him. We sat at our kitchen table, and I just told him, in essence, I told him, I know we're not getting married, but I'd like to have kids someday. And he said, okay. And I said, well, I think maybe we should, I might want to start pursuing that goal. And I know that you don't want to pursue that goal with me, and that's okay.
No, Jodi is hot.
I know
That's
he
the
was
thing.
moving
That's
back
how she
tomorrow.
got
He said he
these
might be moving back
guys.
soon, so
Yeah, is
I kinda
that
just
she's
left it at that. I don't
not
think it was very
on
specific,
the
but
unattractive
he was nodding his
scale.
head like he understood what I was saying. So I was under the impression that he understood that we were no longer together at that point. I mean, not in a committed relationship where we are boyfriend, girlfriend.
And you mentioned doing this prior to being invited to spend a weekend in California with Mr. Alexander, right?
I actually did it right after I was invited, but prior to going.
Okay. Prior to you going to California, or prior to this breakup, had you had any other interaction with any officials from the Mormon Church in your home?
Not at that point.
So tell us about this. When was it? When was this trip to California or somewhere else in California to take place?
This would have been the weekend after convention.
And where was it? How many hours from you was it?
I don't remember the drive, not far. It was in Murrieta, California. Either Murrieta or Temecula. I think Murrieta. And I'd say an hour and 15 minutes maybe
Okay.
on the drive.
And whose home were you going to?
I was going to Travis's friends, and their names are Chris and Sky.
Is that Chris and Sky Hughes where the dress came from?
Yes.
As it relates to, at this point in time, did you have an understanding where Mr. Alexander lived?
Yes. I knew he lived in Mesa.
Okay. Did you feel comfortable going to Murrieta to spend this, I guess it was a couple days, in this home of people you barely knew?
I had met the Hugheses at convention, and they seemed like very nice people, so I was a little uncomfortable, but not in a bad way, just shy.
Yeah, that's
But
probably
I didn't feel
true.
unsafe or
If
anything like that.
Travis had
I
been
just,
serious
there was
and
gonna be a
asked her to
party there.
marry, he'd probably still be alive.
I
Well,
believe Mr. Hughes' brothers were
he
moving
wouldn't
to
have been
Colorado.
unalived
It was
in
his
June
fault
of
he
2008.
did.
Sky's brother also
That's right.
returned from his mission.
It's
So
his
it was
fault.
kind of and then all the Prepaid Legal associates were there, so it's kind of a party with multiple purposes.
Oh,
We were all just there gathering, it's like a social gathering.
Was it your understanding, you said a social gathering, were you there as one of the party guests per se, or were you there as Travis's date?
Just a party guest.
Did you spend
Stay
a
with
lot
me
of
and I
time
won't kill you.
with Travis over those few days?
Not at first. I got there while the party
Doesn't mean it's
was,
not true,
in progress, and hung out for a while. Michelle was there, so I felt comfortable a little bit, and eventually she left. It had been discussed ahead of time that, and
You
this
know
was on a
Salvador
Saturday, this
would
party,
still be with her.
that I could stay the night. They had an extra bedroom, and they wanted me to attend church with them in the morning. So I agreed to that, and Travis actually wasn't there at the party. He was late, and he showed up after almost everyone had left.
Was she angry at him like Amber Heard was at Johnny?
Did you spend time, what would have been Saturday evening before church? Did you spend time with Mr. Alexander on Saturday evening?
Yes.
Was it just the two of you, or were there other people involved?
At first, it was Travis and I. We were sitting on an oversized chair, and Chris and Sky, and
We got about
one other
5
guy
more minutes
named Jeff. I can't remember his last name at this point.
until another
We were all
break.
sitting in the living room.
I just got tagged
watching
on a
funny
meme
video
and
that
it's
Travis had
funny.
made or filmed.
Do you want to share it?
It's
this
just
point in
about,
time,
it's a
did
conspiracy
you kiss Mr.
meme where it shows
No.
two ladies and then it has them in another
When did you
picture, but
first
they're a
kiss Mr.
lot
Alexander?
fatter. And it's like they're doing
we all
something to
went
the
bed
food and the water.
he
and it's
came
doing
into the bedroom I was
this.
staying in. I
And it
assumed there
shows
was
them,
maybe
and then
some
it
kissing
shows them
or
and they're fat, and I'm like,
some kind of talking
oh,
or hanging out.
God,
We
it's
talked every
true.
night that entire week. So that's when we kissed.
I want to clarify too as well, you just said something, you said you talked to Mr. Alexander every night. What time period are you referring to?
The time from the Monday after convention till Friday night. Because he showed up Saturday.
So he called you after convention every single night?
Yes, that,
She didn't say, she called and they talked.
Rephrase.
How did you and Mr. Alexander
What does
wind up
that matter?
getting all these nights between convention and his invitation to you?
well, I was at my home in Palm Desert and he was at his home in Mesa, so he called.
Did he call you on your cell phone or a home phone, or?
My
you
cell phone.
recall? Okay. And about what time of the day, if there was a consistent time of the day?
I'm
was he
doing
calling
stuff, Nick.
The first night you called
How
around 8
close
o'clock.
are you to 3,000 subs?
And then toward the end
Oh,
of the week,
that's
it
a
began
good
to get a
Just
little bit
one
later.
away,
Not
right?
inappropriately, maybe just 9:30.
Come on,
You know, I don't
guys.
even-
10.
I don't even
He lived
know
in my
right
schedule,
now.
and I usually worked in the afternoons, so it wasn't a big deal that he called that late.
Tell your friends, get them
What was
over
he
here to sub,
calling
push them up to that
about?
3,000 mark.
We just talked mostly about, well, he told me a lot about himself and his dog, his religion,
2999. I am one away from
mission,
3,000 people.
friends. He had
Come
lots
on,
of
guys,
lots
we
of
can
fun
get him that
stories
one
he would
sub.
share, and he wanted to
Let's
know about
get
me.
him up to 3,000.
He wanted to know about Daryl.
He
He,
looks like the regional
wanted to
manager
know
for some
different
little
things about my life.
professional wrestling circuit.
These conversations you had with him over these days after the convention, is that part of what you meant by his words encouraging you to break up with Daryl Brewer?
Will you say that again? I'm sorry.
You talked about how some of the things that Travis
Whoop, whoop,
said
I
to
think you
you
got it.
encouraged you to break up with Daryl Brewer, right?
Yes.
Ooh,
These things
3,000
that he
live
said to
during
you
a
that
Jodi
encouraged you to
day.
break up with Daryl Brewer were some of these things said during these phone calls he was making to you.
Yes, just encouraging me to never settle for mediocrity was really what it centered on, relationships, careers, anything. Also, when he found out Daryl's age, he was making fun of him.
What do you mean making
No,
fun of him?
I just went to your page and it says
Just
3K.
that I was dating grandpa, things like that.
Okay, Grant.
You know, just little jokes.
Ooh,
and
3,001.
I mean, I didn't really find it funny, but I didn't get overly offended or anything.
Hey,
I
we
just said he's not like
pushing
that.
you
You know,
up.
I described
Congrats,
him
dude.
as handsome and, you know,
Congrats, my
like
dude.
that.
Thank you.
What at this point in time was it about Mr. Alexander that encouraged you or helped maybe push you over the edge, so to speak?
I know I need to have
break up
flexible.
with-
I invite her all the time. She always says no to me.
Like I said, some of the things he said.
I need to
helped
quit.
me
Well,
to
I need to quit my
get a
job
different
so that
perspective
I can
and
just hang
step
out
back and
here
take a
all
look
the
at my
time
life
and do
and,
paint stuff all the time.
I realized things weren't going anywhere.
my
If
real
it
job
probably
is
weren't
a
for Travis.
lot.
I may have just continued on like that until Daryl moved, and who knows. But knowing that I wanted to hang out with Travis that weekend, and I didn't want to. I've always been faithful in my relationships, and I didn't want to change that now. So I decided to break things off with Daryl so that I was just free to hang out with Travis without, you know, feeling guilty that I was sitting next to him, or if it led to kissing or something like that. It wouldn't be something that I would feel bad about.
We're going to take the afternoon recess at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, please be back in the jury room by 3:30, and we will start promptly at that time. Please remember the admonition.
Yes, yes, that's the admonition. Don't talk to anybody. Don't look at anything.
Don't tell
Okay.
anybody.
We got a new member. Welcome.
What's up?
Jeshka Tanhag. Welcome. I don't know how to say your name, but I don't know how to say many people's name. So, but
I was
welcome
gonna
very
try and
much.
help you, but I couldn't there either. I'm like, maybe
Ja-
it's a huh sound, but
Hakatan, whatever. However you say your name, welcome and thank you for becoming a member. By the way, if you are a new member or a new subscriber and you're thinking about becoming a member, you can become a member after the stream ends. But head over to the membership tab on my YouTube page, and you will see a link to my Discord channel, where tonight I know Farrell's been saying 9 p.m. It's 8 p.m. We're going to be doing a restream of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard documentary. Look at Wendy H with a
what's up, Wendy H?
$99.99 super chat. Congrats, Dave. Yes, I hit 3,000
That's
during the
awesome.
Jodi stream. If it was going to happen during any stream, it needs to happen during a Jodi stream. So that is awesome. I am well on my way to be able to quit my day job and do this full
Nice.
time. So if you guys like what I'm doing, you can help out by subscribing. Also, hoping the subscribers and the watch hours go up together, because to me there's no point in having subs if you guys aren't watching. So I'm hoping they kind of naturally grow up together, and then I will be able to do this full time. But thank you very much, Wendy. That is Wendy is the best. Wendy,
She's awesome.
she is a huge supporter of this channel, and she is actually a co-creator member. So there's 3 levels of membership, and the highest level, Wendy actually gets to co-create or collaborate on a video, and she has every month since she's become that member, and so that's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Indigo with the $1.99 super chat. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
And I need 10 more subs to hit 1,500. Literally half of what you've got.
You guys need to go over and sub. If you're not subbed to Flux, she's got awesome videos. I am going to put her chat or her link in the chat so you guys can. It should go now. So you guys can go over and sub to her. That is awesome. Also, make sure you go over to Nick's stream, since we are dual streaming. Give him some love. Actually, it's really close. No, it's not. Sorry, Nick. I thought it was really close to thumbs up. We do have a thumbs up war. He's got 61 and I've got 74. It was really close though. When I did pull up your chat, Nick, I pulled up your chat, and then all of a sudden you surpassed me for a minute. But then it went the other way. But yes, so normally Nick Staroff, Trial Watch, and myself, we're both here, and we're actually dual streaming on his channel. And pinned at the top of my chat is a link to Nick's channel. So you can go over there, subscribe, give him a thumbs up as well. That would be
he's
greatly
just
appreciated.
barely trailing you.
With the thumbs
likes.
up now?
Yeah.
Did he get more?
I'm looking, and right now it looks like it's 74 to 64. You're up by 10.
64. I'm up by 10. He was up earlier, and he beat me, I think, last week.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, it happens. We go back
fun.
and forth. Yeah. Lefty coming in with the $20 super chat. Best part about David, all the help he gives to all the other smaller channels. Congratulations, David. Thank you. I do try to help out the smaller channels. We all have to grow together. That's my idea. But yeah, so that's Jodi. There's going to be a part 3 of day 14, because we didn't get through it all. We chatted a bit, but it was really long. The stream today was like over 3 hours, and our Saturdays are longer days, but we typically don't go 3 hours. We've been going 2 hours. That's our typical. Guess what, finger? Go over and sub to Nick. It's not. I don't tell people not to. I have you pinned, by the way, at the top of my chat, Nick. A link to my stream is not pinned at the top of yours. I'm just saying. Once people go over to your chat, your stream, they're no longer able to come back to mine. But go over there and give Nick a thumbs up. That will help with the algorithm. We have been dual streaming this for now. Let's see, it's day 14. We usually do 2 streams per day, so it's been 28 streams at least. So that's I can't even do the math. That's like 4 months we've been doing this together. It's been a long time. It's been fun. But we're going to keep going. We'll have Jodi on the stand until about Christmas. And when one of us isn't available, Flux or whoever else can fill in. But I'm glad you were here.
I know you
Flux.
guys have Chandler every so often and Val and Bake. I like every so often that you guys do have like a rotation of people that when one of you can't make it, you kind of just throw one of us in here, and it's a fun little mix.
It is. It is. I like it. I have been, unfair advantage. I'll give you that today, Nick. I'll give you that. It was a little bit of an unfair advantage today. You've been distracted, but I like having a mix of people in because everyone's brings something different to the stream. Like Jamie, when she was on, she's the background giggler, right? And she has an awesome
And her
laugh.
lashes are so awesome.
Yes, I know, in her lashes. And then I missed entirely when Natalie was on. She subbed for me. I think it was the first time we had a
that's
sub.
right. Yeah.
Wisco was on, and I heard she did really good, but I didn't even watch it at
Yeah.
all. I was so busy. And then, we have different people from time to time, but they all bring something different to the table. And
Yeah.
so it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I split
Yeah.
screen, sharing the love. That is a really good way to do it. I do too, actually. I have both streams going at all times.
Yeah, I
Mainly
have-
to monitor them, but it also gives the watch hours, and I can do the thumbs up and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have both of them going over on my other screen over here.
You should have Jamie on one of your streams. I don't know if you have, but Valhalla says
I don't
trying to
think
break
I've-
Jamie is the best thing.
Yes, I need to bring Jamie on. Jamie,
That's me.
do you have a Twitter? Does Jamie have Twitter?
Yeah, she's on Twitter.
Are we friends on Twitter? Jamie, are we friends on Twitter? Because is it just Jamie?
It is. I'll pull it up here. It is.
Because I don't have her on Twitter.
It's J Briggs BRIGGS 619. So it's very generic.
I love it so much.
Very.
All right, I just added her.
She has, she barely uses it. She doesn't even retweet my stuff. She's just like, hey, if you want to send me a link to your stream.
Oh, and I can get a hold of her on Discord too. I just have to get in Discord more often. It's
You
literally
have
like
your own Discord, and you're never in there.
know,
I'm always popping in there. I'm like, oh, no, Flux isn't doing anything.
It's one of those things where everyone's like, have a Discord. And I'm like, okay, but like the app on my phone is on like the very last page in the forgotten section. And I typically just use Twitter, but
My Discord is awesome. My Discord, Jungmin Shelley runs it. She has it super organized. She does all kinds of stuff with it, and it's a lot of fun. And my chat is in there all the time, throwing stuff out. I think Salvador said he even put a link to her timeline or her birthday or something in my Discord. And then we do watch parties and we add different things. I actually have to update it because I'm doing my evidence series of streams, and I have to put my outline in there so you guys can all kind of follow along. But it's a lot of fun. And Discord kind of looks scary. I didn't understand it
is
at
scary.
all when I first jumped in, but now that I know how to use it, it's absolutely awesome. It's the best thing ever. And when we do our live streams in there, like we're going to do the Johnny Depp tonight, there's a chat function as well, but so you can talk, everyone can see your face if you want to, or you can just talk into it, but then you can chat and you can post memes, you can reply to specific people. So it's a lot better than the YouTube chat. So when we do our live streams in there, it's a lot of fun. And
I'm excited.
don't surpass the everyone tag, please. Yes, some people turn it off so you don't get notifications when everyone is tagged. But that's how we do, or me in particular, in Jungmin, when we want to give you guys a heads up in the Discord that we're doing something, we tag everyone. It's, the @ everyone. And if you bypass that, then you won't get the notifications. So, Let's see here. And tell me if you want to be in the live alert. Yeah, so if you do log in, by the way, new members, go to my membership tab. You get a link to the Discord. Drop your YouTube name in there. Jung, Jamie, and I will manage those things. We'll get you full access. And then let Jung know if you want to get the live alert tags. So when someone goes live, we usually tag people. I didn't tell you to, no, I didn't tell you to turn it off. I never said turn it off, Jung. Okay. All right. Flex, what do you got coming up?
I'm debating doing a stream tonight. I might just have a hangout stream. I feel there's so much going on right now in our country and in the world. And I'm like, I want to talk about it, but I'm so tired from Matsuri. I'm like, I want to just sleep, but I haven't got to like really go in. I mean, I feel like I went into detail a little bit about Matsuri on Thursday, but I didn't get to like fully explain how awesome the trip was. So I might do that, but most likely I'm just not going to do anything tonight because I'm tired.
Are we going to see you in my Discord for Johnny Depp
Yes,
at
I'm
8
going to be
p.m.?
watching. I'll be watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing because, again, I watched it initially and I'm like, I have thoughts. I need to watch this with people. And so I'm excited.
Yeah, Nick, by the way, is growing in thumbs up. He's got 71 to my 79.
Nice.
He's catching up. Very cool. Well, if you want to, again, at the top of my chat, which you all should want to, and you all should do it, period, go over to Flux. It's a link to her general channel. You can subscribe to her. You can check out her paintings. This green one up here is one of her paintings, as well as her Minecraft streams, and then her Hangout streams. And then also go specifically to the Star Wars debate that Flux and I had, and leave a comment and make sure everyone knows that I am right. In time for our next one, so you need to do that as well. Oh, hey Chandler. Chandler
in the house. What's up, girl?
Well, it's like, yeah. What are you waking up so late for?
I mean, no, okay. It's probably like 11. I feel like,
all right, fair enough.
Depending on where you are, like how late you stay, 11's not the worst time to wake up.
True.
Especially after a long, busy couple weeks. She's recovering from Matsuri too. We all had a blast.
That's right. Yeah, you guys were all there together, all hanging out late. I'm trying to get a final count here. Someone unliked mine. Right.
Oh God!
Now we're being sabotaged.
People. It looks like 2 people unliked your stream.
I'm being sabotaged.
3 people, you're hemorrhaging likes now.
That's okay. It's all right. We could I got 3,000. We can give Nick the win on a thumbs up. Yeah, and Nick is like going up like clockwork as mine's going down. I'm ending the stream now before I lose. All right, you all have a good day. I'm going to send you out. By the way, Farrell is in the house. Farrell housewife. She did the exit video, which is awesome. So we're going to leave you on that. And then remember, Tuesday at noon Eastern, 6 p.m. Swedish time, we are back here again for another wonderful day of Jodi. Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.
State of Arizona versus Jodi Arias, verdict, count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn in the above entitled action upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder.